Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. How's everybody doing tonight? As you can see, we have a Prepper Tribe and Neecy Tribe, along with Virginia Roots. We should be joined by Susanna a little bit later and the Milkmaid a little bit later. They both had prior engagements and they are running behind. But it's not a big deal because we're doing potatoes, and potatoes in quart jars only have to process for 40 minutes. So it'll be a short show or it'll be a long show depending on what we decide to do. But either way, it's not that big of a deal if you're doing quarts or pints. I can't even remember what the time limit pints are. Are you doing pints, Roots, or quarts?
Quarts.
Okay, we're all doing quarts, so we're all going at 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Let's see who all we got in here tonight. Oh, and thank you guys for joining me on my first live stream on my canning channel. This is awesome. Radio, what's going on? Dragonfly, hello, Alley Cat, Debbie Sims, P. Mitch.
Can you jump on the computer and share this to my community?
Yeah.
Debbie Sims, Hoot Owl, what's going on, Hoot? Milkmaid's in the chat, or she was earlier. Be here a little bit later. Charmy, hello. Charmy says hello to all the Canimals.
Hello.
What up?
I see you up. We got him on bottoms. Milkmaid's driving back from a wedding. She should be here shortly, or in a little while. Dusty Data, what's going on, brother? You want to come up?
What up, Dusty?
Rosanna Jones, Debbie Sims, Emma Reynolds. If there's anybody out there in the chat that's canning along with us and wants to come up here, just let me know and I'll shoot you the link and you can come join us. I mean, I'm paying StreamYard $25 a month to get 12 people up here. I don't think I've ever had more than 5.
Alley Cat said she can come up.
All right, hang tight, Allie. I'll send it to you.
Awesome, Alley Cat.
If I can remember how.
Hi, everybody. Debbie, Flintstone, Hoot, B, Tamra. Mark. Good to see you, Mark.
Okay, let me see. Hang on,
Hi,
Allie.
Leslie.
I'm trying to figure this thing out. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I said hi, Leslie. Give me liberty or give me death, Leslie. Nice.
Oh, this is kind of a pain in the ass. Now I got to switch back and forth between accounts. Confusing. So the process for doing potatoes for everybody in the chat is basically you can peel them if you want to. You can leave the peelings on if you want to. It's completely up to you. I choose to leave. I choose to peel them. But you want to, if you do peel them or if you don't, whatever, dice them up. You want to put them in cold water. But in the cold water, you want to use an absorbic solution. I use citric acid. You can use lemon juice as well. Or you can just use super cold ice water and stick them in the fridge for a little while. They'll stay colorful that way. They won't go brown. But I use ascorbic acid and cold water, and I cut them up and just submerge them in the water, and they'll stay. They won't turn brown for literally for hours. But what you want to do, after you dice them up, put them in the fluid, let them stay. But before you get ready to cook them and before you get ready to can them, you want to rinse them off really well and discard that water, because what that does from that water, it pulls out a lot of the starch from the potatoes, which is a good thing. You never want to use any of the water that you soak the potatoes in. So once you rinse them out real good, myself, I'm going to boil them for 2 minutes and then can them. You can raw pack them if you choose. I'm choosing to boil for 2 minutes. Not for any particular reason other than I just figured today I would go strictly by the recipe in the Center for Home Food Preservation. So I'm going to boil for 2 minutes. Then I'm going to put them in the jars. Then I'm going to pour hot boiling water over the potatoes, debubble, make sure the head height is an inch. Then put the lids rings on them. Then they go in the canner for 40 minutes for quart-sized jar. Pint jars, I want to say is 30 minutes. I'm not positive. You guys may want to look that up if you're doing pints, but I'm doing quarts. They'll go in the processor for 40 minutes. They come up the pressure. Timer, it goes 40 minutes. When the timer goes off, you kill the heat. You let it come back down to 0 naturally. That's when we sit here and swap horse stories. Once it gets down to 0, you remove the weight. You let it sit for another few minutes. Then you can remove your jars, sit them on the counter, and you want to make sure you put them on a towel or something. You don't want to put them on a hard surface so that the heat dissipates a little softer. And you want to let them sit. Just put some space in between them. You don't want them touching each other. You want them to cool down nice and evenly, but you want to let them sit for 24 hours. Don't touch them. Don't jiggle them. Don't turn them over and shake them around or anything. You want to let them sit for 24 hours. Then you want to take the rings off. And you want to wash the outside of the jars really, really well, especially the grooves at the top where the ring screws on. You want to make sure there's no food particles or anything like that on it before you put these jars into storage. That way it doesn't draw bugs. You don't want to pull bugs to your food storage. Even though the bugs through glass, it will still bring the bugs to the area where your other food is, and they can chew through cardboard boxes and stuff like that. So you just want to make sure they're really, really clean before you put them in storage.
And I'll remember 2 minutes of what you just talked about.
Say what?
Said I'm gonna remember about 2 minutes of that of what you just talked about.
So
all right, let's see. Go ahead.
I'm doing something similar. I par cooked the potatoes with some green beans, and I'm going to cut up this corn and put it in this mixture. About 25 years ago, somebody I knew was a canner, and she passed away, and we started eating her canned food. And she had this mix of potato, green bean, and corn. And it's probably the best thing I've ever eaten. So I'm going to try and do it.
That sounds like awesome.
Right?
It's cut up green beans, corn in with the potatoes. That sounds really, really good.
Just sit that right here, and you can do it right here.
Okay, let me see. There is the link. And I'm going to pin it.
You have a question, you can ask Ghost. So you got a question?
All right, I pinned the link for anybody that wants to hop up here with us. Just,
Hey, Ghost, when do I start the canner? I don't.
What?
When do I start the canner? I have water in it now. Do I turn it on after the jars are in?
You're pouring boiling water into the jars, right?
Yeah. But after I do that and put the jars in the canner, then I turn on the canner?
No, if you're going to be putting hot jars in the canner, the water needs to already be hot. So you just want it, if you want it, not quite boiling. It doesn't have to be perfectly exactly the same, just close. You don't want to go super hot and super cold together because your stuff will blow up.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So you just want warm water. That way your jars don't pop, or hot water. That way your jars don't pop.
Okay, that makes sense.
Ask them, do we need to debubble
Yes.
even the potatoes?
Yes.
Like the cool thing about potatoes to debubble them, it's a little trick that I do, is I just grab the jar like this and I just shake it in my hand, like shake it, wiggle it like this without throwing anything and the bubbles come out. And, you can use a debubbler if you want to, but since it's such big clunky potatoes, if you just jiggle it, all the bubbles shake loose and come to the top.
It won't.
But it had boiling water in it, so we can't just grab it with our hands. So what are we gonna grab it with?
Sissy.
I'm all paranoid over here.
First time canners, like what?
My candy cherry. Our.
Ours. That both our first time.
This might do it. This might be the ticket. Hopefully, I'm not putting too much potatoes in.
Over, but I think it'll be fine.
Well, as goes, I think it's just you cover the potato, leave it, cover the
What?
potato.
Say what?
Ask them. We're pretty much. I got the potatoes about an inch from the top, so we're pretty much when we put the boiling water in, we just want to cover the potatoes, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You want to make sure you got at least an inch at the top, an inch of headspace. That's that rim around the bottom of the jar, around the bottom of the lid of the jar. That's just about an inch. So you want to try to make sure nothing goes above that.
Fill it to the first lip.
So I wanna fill that up to about like right there.
Yep. Yep.
All right. Well, then I can do some more.
Well, we put the water at first, babe, and then maybe we can add more, you think? Because it's gonna.
No, I'm not gonna add food after I add the water. We're just gonna fill it up. If it's a little short, we're not worried about it. Like we just want to get it close, and then boom, it'll be all right. You could probably do it a half a can if you wanted to. It don't have to be full, I wouldn't think. You know what I'm saying? Like it don't have to be like exactly. As long as you give it an inch, it'll be all right. Yes. You make coffee? I need my soda first. I'm thirsty.
I'm also doing a couple of jars of zucchini and squash. Now, zucchini is a rebel canning item. You're technically encouraged not to do it, but I have a friend who grew a whole bunch and I grew some. The one I'm cutting up now, I actually grew myself as well. So I'm going to go ahead and can up some yellow squash with zucchini. Mark Bottoms, I'm going to end up putting a quarter of a teaspoon of Better Than Bouillon in these cans, and I'm not going to use any salt, but I'm going to use a little bit of that and water.
A little bit of water. I think we might want to put a little bit of salt, just a little bit. We heated up the tops too.
Yeah.
You want to put some salt?
We'll just roll with it. It don't matter.
Okay, crank this in at least one.
Don't stress. It's gonna be all right. Well, you got on the. Oh, you know what? You could actually, so we can have. Well, it depends on how many people he has, but we can have like two computer. Well, the mute the button.
Yeah, you could have two things running if we have the space and show both.
Or even your phone.
Yeah. Do we have a?
We're all right. They can see. They can see.
You can see. Yeah, you can see good. I just put it there so you can read chat while we're waiting or something, you know, so looking at the TV so far. They can't because we're on our phone.
I just want to make sure that the phone don't go dead. So we're at 71 already. It's dropped 10% already.
We could use the laptop, my camera.
No, I'm just plugging in.
Oh, yeah.
Quick phone girl. Bug dude, what's going on? Jill, hello. Look at Milkmaid texting and driving. Oh, maybe somebody else is driving. She's texting and writing.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine. That'll be good. We're maybe a little bit more than an inch, but it doesn't matter.
You can always just add a little bit more water.
Yeah. So we just fill So we're gonna fill that water up right to this rim right here.
To that bottom lip.
Right here.
Yep.
All right. So you're gonna fill the water up.
Hey, Za, I'm canning potatoes. Tribe's canning potatoes. Virginia, she's canning everything. Got potatoes with green beans and corn going on. It looks like we put some peppers in there. Zucchini, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm doing squash also, a couple jars of that.
I'm a can all day tomorrow. I'm gonna do we got 3 bags of carrots and we got more potatoes, so we're gonna go hard tomorrow.
Nice.
That's hot. That water's hot.
Okay, everybody. So one thing I'm doing is here. It's potato, green bean, and corn that most of you just saw me cut off the cob. And I'm going to do these in quart jars. It's just sort of a nice little side dish, I guess. And then I'm doing probably 2 quarts of squash and zucchini together because I have an abundance of it on my counter. So.
Nice. I'm just doing plain old taters.
That looks delicious, Virginia.
Thank you.
I was over looking at the big screen, looking at that. We have a handle thing so I can pick this up or
now my potatoes and beans, I par cooked them earlier, but they're completely cooled down, so I'm not doing hot jars.
Right. Yep. If you're doing hot, it's got to go in hot. If you're doing cold, it's got to go in cold. As long as the temperatures are close, you're good. Hey, Mark, actually, I was out looking today. I need to get me about 10 or 15 pounds of green tomatoes, and then I'm going to make some chow. But I'm going to make a video on that for real.
I'm going to have to pick it up and shake it a little bit. The potatoes is going to be hard to use that. You want to shake it a little bit.
Yeah, Neecy and Tribe, Debbie Sims said, make sure you guys read the manual to your canner.
Yes.
Yeah, Mark, I'm not doing any salt in mine. Not for any particular crazy reason or not. It's just that I've got a whole bunch, like several cases of potatoes put up that I salted, and I wanted to do some that are unsalted to see the taste difference in them. Just to see if there really is a big enough difference for me to worry about doing that or not. I just like getting creative.
Well, you can move it like over here or something so they can see it. Move the corner here, right? We'll be screaming at it. That ain't how you do it.
I can't get it right anyway.
Water all over the place.
Tribe.
Yeah.
Did you hear that old Secret Stuff made a video with us in it? Yeah. Oh, it was hilarious, man. So what he did, he started this video. Let me bring Dusty up. What's going on, Dusty?
Hey, man, I had to come and jump up in here, let you know me and Danny are working on something.
Anytime, anytime. Ooh, I see that back there. I see that back there. Looks like it. Prepperty board. That's so Secret Stuff made a video, Tribe. He went to this video starts with him walking, right? And he's got his brand new camouflage from Walmart on, and he's got his brand new camouflage rucksack on, right? And he's doing a video about preppers and exercise, and he's like, yeah, I've got my pack on with 30 pounds in it, and my 2 liters of water on my hips, and he's doing this selfie video with his video stick of him pumping or hiking or doing whatever you want to call it, about how all of us preppers are out of shape and this and that and the other, right? So then it shows a different camera angle of him actually walking from behind, and he's walking on this ergonomically, manufactured walking track, that people go exercise on around a football field or a soccer field, okay?
Right.
But this walk. Now, the whole time that he says he's going out to walk 5 miles, all right, which is 20 laps around this thing. So he's going to do 5 miles. But from beginning of the video to the end of the video, the dude's not sweating. The 30-pound rucksack that he's supposed to be carrying is bouncing on his back. Okay, it's bouncing. Okay, we know what that means. It's bouncing. It's full of T-shirts. Okay. So after he's finished doing this 5-mile walk around this awesome track, instead of the hills out of his front door in Tennessee, he sits down at a picnic table, right? Or while he's doing the walk, he starts dogging me out. Now he doesn't say my name, but he goes into this that live stream that I did last week with about who, and he goes into rambling on about something. But he says the only thing I learned from him was how to spit tobacco in a bottle. All right, so I know he's talking about me. So then he goes on to you, right? He sits down at a table and he starts talking about this other so-called prepper that has kidney stones. So then he goes through, then he sits down, bro. Then he sits down and he pulls out a piece of paper where he actually went and did research and made a list. So then he's schooling you on how to take care of your kidney stones, since we don't know how to prep. It was hilarious. I didn't even watch the whole video. I just laughed my ass off. I'm like, man, I'm not even going to respond to this.
Hey, Brother Ghost.
Well, he stirs up drama, right, man? That's the whole point. That's the whole point of what he's doing is stirring up drama.
Yeah, he wants to get some views and he wants to just start some crap. But it was hilarious. Him walking around this ergonomically safe on your knees. Actually, he wasn't even walking. He was waddling. I'm looking at him walk from behind. You can tell he's got some major, I'm fixing to lose my hip and have hip replacement issues. He was waddling like a penguin, And I'm like, yeah, this guy's going 5 miles my ass. He wasn't even sweating.
Gotta give him an A for effort, man. At least he's trucking it out there.
I will. He had on all matching camouflage, brand new from Walmart. It was awesome.
He likes poking people is what he does, man. The whole time I was listening to it, I watched that video. I commented on it. He poked at you and poked at you. I know he's talking about you.
Oh yeah, you could probably be talking about me. But like I said, I'm like, dude, I'm not even gonna respond to this crap. Off the wall, what's going on?
Hey, Ghost.
Yep.
Is it necessary for us to put like a tablespoon of vinegar in the pot with the water?
Yeah, you want to do that. Well, with potatoes, it's not that big of a deal unless you have hard water. If you have hard water at your house, definitely put vinegar. I do it, especially if I've got like any kind of food with grease in it, in case it siphons out. Then I know you grease all over the outside of the jars.
So just like a tablespoon is good, and just dump it in there.
Yeah, I usually use like a tablespoon, maybe 2.
Hey, Ghost. Yeah. Roast beef, potatoes, onions,
Yeah,
up on it, so I ate it. But you can't can something that's already been cooked, can you?
Yeah, you can. I can stuff that's been cooked all the time.
Oh.
You can recan stuff; it don't hurt it.
Well, I just ate it. Shit, fucked up.
He's got a few extra pounds. He's like, should I can it or eat it? Nah, go ahead.
That's what I did. I ate it. I was going, damn, because she made me mad. I was going to have it right there. You ain't have my kitchen. And I walked back in there and I noticed, I'm like, where's my shit? Oh, I cooked it. It's here on the plate for you.
What's up, everybody?
Hey, what's going on off the wall? What's going on?
Hey, I can only be on here for a minute. I got to eat some dinner and then I'm gonna do a live. But Just I wanted to come on here first of all to say thank you, for the shout out on when you did the trucker
Yeah,
thing.
no problem.
But that's the
Please.
way that's the way it should be. You know what I'm saying? After what you went through a couple weeks ago or a week ago, that's the way it should be. But also, I don't know if you've seen the chicken challenge. TJ Preps put it out, and go check out mine. And I challenged you on my video. So
Chicken challenge.
you're next, man. You got to do it. You got to do it.
Check it out today. Or tonight.
Yeah. So you got.
Hey, off the wall. How you doing tonight?
I added you on Facebook,
Good. How y'all doing?
and I called you today, and you didn't answer me.
Who,
Who
me?
you call?
Nah, Dusty Data.
Oh, Dusty.
Where is Dusty? He disappeared.
He's up there.
Oh, there he is. I see him. You look like
Dusty, are you cooking it up or what?
No, I'm working on something with Danny, man. We're doing a prepper. I'm thinking about pulling one up Tuesday at in between 6 and 8, depending on everybody can get in there at a time.
I love your videos, man. They crack me up. They just me and Dragonfly just be dying laughing. So, we all need laughter in our lives, and you definitely can do it, man.
Thank you.
I loved it after you messed me up twice. I was waiting on a third one. I was going, I got to scratch my leg, see what he's going to do next.
Well, the first one I got you doing the bobblehead singing, so.
Yeah.
Prepper Tribes and Neecy's in the house, and they're cooking it up. What's up, Prepper Tribe?
What up?
You cooking it up?
Getting her done.
That's right.
Who's really doing the cooking, Neecy or Prepper Tribe?
Rod's doing it.
Now, don't forget to oil your rim on your pot. That's what I forgot to do.
I think it's a joint effort. Hey, Prepper Tribe, that was really cool last night, man. I really enjoyed your live when you came on and laid those beats. That was really entertaining, and I liked it a lot, man.
Appreciate you.
Well, I got to get off here. I have a live at 8 o'clock. But Ghost, I know you can hear me even though you're over there cooking. Go on there and check out that video, and you got the chicken challenge on you.
All right. Well,
That's easy.
Let's ask
Yeah, it took me a while to see on Facebook, Dusty.
Ron and
I didn't know you had a Facebook.
Yeah.
I think we
I love them. I love them pictures of the clown. I was going, hey man, give me an idea for next month.
Well, dang, Dusty, you're a good-looking man.
Well, thank you.
You were side view last weekend. It's the first time I've seen you full face.
Oh, okay.
You better stop all that.
I'm going to make my friend Cherokee jealous. Me and him got a thing going on now.
Yeah. Do you know who he really is? I already know who Cherokee is.
Hey, I got a question real quick, if y'all don't mind. It says have 3 inches of water in the pressure cooker. Is that 3 inches of water before you put the cans in there, or after you put the cans in there?
Before.
Okay, because they're like it's like 6-7 inches of water or something.
Now, what do you mean, Dusty?
You know who I think you are, man. You're Tom Laughlin. I swear. He takes his glasses off. He puts the Billy Jack hat on. He's Tom Laughlin.
Wow.
I tried to get on the live stream again, and this time it told me I had to wait 24 hours for this new channel. And I was going, okay, I got to deal with that.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't even know you had a new channel, man.
Yeah, well, I can't get back on it. There ain't no way I can get back on it. I have took 3 of these and only had one password, and I went through every password for every other place I've been. And I'm like, well, I'll stick to that channel I got now until they decide to knock it off.
so.
Well, your password might be compromised, so.
Yeah, that could be. There's a lot of those going on where people just hack into your account and do stuff. But hey, everybody have a great night, and I'll catch y'all later. Ghost, thanks again. And Prepper Tribe, you need to email me, Prepper Tribe, because I'd love to see my niece do one of your beats and sing to it. She's really talented.
I suck at emails, but if you email me, then I'll have it in there and I can reply and stuff. It's just it's just the channel name at Gmail, preppertribe@gmail.
Okay, same as mine, but I'll reach out to you. Y'all have a good night.
Good
All right.
night.
Good night off the wall.
Get that off the wall. I'll rewatch
All right.
those.
See y'all later.
Yeah, I used
Find and rewind.
I decided to use something on that share. That's why I put you on there, Dusty. And I figured out how the Laotians operate. And I'm going like, well, I can do the same thing. They're gonna bullshit. I can bullshit too.
So this thing only going one way. So
I still think we're all under attack psychologically. So good vibes, man. It'll help.
Oh yeah.
A lot of negative stuff out there. A lot of negative.
Well, did you see that one I put up about 26 prepper scenarios? What are you? You got 26 scenarios you got to go through.
oh shit, you know what?
That's a lot.
Well, I've got a board game that
Let me show y'all real quick before I do it. Got her filled up.
Nice.
I have to put the top on and turn up the heat, Jack.
I'm at the same spot. Got it filled up. I'm going to oil around your rim, dog.
Yeah, we did on both the seal and the top of the pan.
Okay, good.
Okay, Virginia, you got your bread in the oven and get ready to tar and feather the roof?
I was actually going to make apple bread today, but I'm out of the apples I canned last year.
Oh, geez.
I know. I'm thinking about cookies, though. You never know.
I canned so much last night, I am just like wiped out. So I thought I'd sit in and visit with y'all and watch the chat and let you know if people are asking questions.
Thank you for that, because we can't really see.
Ain't nothing to it.
And Virginia?
Yes. Yes.
Uncle Traveling Matt. Raggle Rock. Uncle Traveling
right.
Matt.
Right. We were talking about that last week.
And the human old man's name was Doc, and the dog's name was Sprocket.
Man, that's funny.
And yes, it came to me at 3:00 in the morning.
Right?
What are you doing there, Cherokee? You trying to dock somebody?
No, I got your reward in here.
Okay, so you did get that.
Yeah.
I don't know if Mad Shad got his. I think I sent his out about the same time he moved. I never did ask him.
Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, man. Be proud of that participation award now.
Right.
Yeah, I gotta get it there where I can put it up on the wall somewhere.
Everybody's a winner.
I get time. I got 4 people I got to send arrowheads to.
I said you did?
I finally made it to the 3-inch arrowheads. I can do them now. It took me a while. I stayed with them little ones. I'm like, I'm tired of them little ones. I got to get a big one. After about 3 weeks of busting them things, I was going like, well, I don't know if I want to do it. And all of a sudden, I got lucky. Got one. I was going, I can do another one. Can I do another one? I go, okay. So I got your address right there. So you be looking within the next 3 weeks.
Oh, you trying to dox me? Oh, I see.
I'm going to send one to you. I'll have to get one of the Prepper Tribe and his old lady because they're my buddies, you know, sister and brothers.
Hey, Ghost. Did you parboil your potatoes?
Besides the other filters we got, cheaper kind.
They said, yeah.
Yeah.
We got some
And
sound.
he said yes, he did.
We We got some sounds going on.
Hey, Neecy.
Hey, who's talking? I can't see.
Oh, there I see your face. Okay. I saw you. I'm guarding the chat here.
Oh, okay.
I did my cannon last night. I did spare ribs and ribeye steaks with pepper and onions for Philly cheesesteak sandwiches.
That sounds really
good.
Yeah, I was up late last night, so I was just like, I was gonna do seafood chowder tonight. It went back and forth because it was going to be potatoes, and then the last video I saw, Ghost, he said it's, you know, whatever anybody wants to can. So I was like, well, I'll do seafood chowder. And then I just like, we went out to dinner tonight, and I had one drink, and I'm a lightweight, so I got a pretty good buzz going right now. So I'm like, no, I don't need to be around flames.
Party.
Would you like me to pour you another one? I'll pour you another one.
God, I could drink a 500-pound guy under the table. I had it like I think it was a rum punch. It kicked me in my, you know what? I'm wasted. I'm enjoying the buzz.
I think I got a big fridge. I might drink one.
Hey, Dusty, them jalapeno peppers, you seen that fifth hottest one they got?
I have like one left.
That what?
The world's hottest peppers. The fifth one is a jalapeno pepper, but it's yellow.
I thought it was what's it called? It's got a weird like the Carolina Reapers. I thought they were the hottest.
Yeah, well, they are the hottest, but this is down below it, like 5 levels down.
No, the guy that did the Carolina Reaper has he's bred a hotter one.
So you said
He's got a new one out that's even hotter than Carolina.
No, I read.
Mixed pepper.
That's only
That's crazy.
They're not going to be satisfied until somebody's face falls off from that stuff, are they?
10 minutes.
Yeah.
Let the thing go 10 minutes.
1,000 subscribers. I'll probably sit there and try to eat 3 of them.
We want it to be like right here.
Yeah, like right at
They're
11.
the fifth hottest. So you imagine.
Put your hand in there.
Watching when I was picking them, and I gave it some to my neighbor. And when he put his face, he was already on fire. And I wasn't paying attention. So after that, I did the same damn thing. I was like, shit, I never had one do this. Carolina Creepers never did me that way, but this will light your ass up.
Oh, if I'm in a restaurant and my husband and my son order just mild spicy wings, my nose starts dripping like a faucet just as they're passing the plate past my nose. And my son's friends were going to do the Carolina Reaper challenge, and I guess they all wanted to test to see how hot it was before they went online to do it, and they all bailed out. They were like, nope. So I put like just a little dab on the tip of my tongue, but I knew about the creamsicle. I had a creamsicle ready to put the flame out of my mouth.
Or over here somewhere.
Plenty of milk.
Just you get it
Well,
out.
I got a hot sauce kit for Father's Day, so I'm gonna try to do that soon.
We do have sweet.
But I figured that them hot peppers there, if I grind them up real fine and liquidize it, put in an aerosol can, that'd be a great thing to get their dogs.
We're gonna have to make one.
Yeah.
What we could do is like box this up. Box all this.
Jeff Bear had a question for Ghost. He wanted to know if he was going to can spare ribs.
I already have.
Hey, Milkmaid.
You already have?
I've got a basement full of spare ribs, tenderloin, pulled pork. Kind of beef stuff. Yeah, I've already done all that. What's up, Susanna? Hey, Milkmaid.
Hey, sorry, I got back and I'm just now getting stuff in the jars.
That's okay. I just put mine in the canner.
Fever right there. I'm wondering.
I've been going slow. Waiting on you.
Hello, Milkmaid.
Hey.
Hi, Susanna.
Sorry,
Hey, thank you for saving us this morning with all your information.
Oh.
And American Loretta, she helped too tremendously. Getting us up for
Awesome.
Hey,
Hey,
Neecy,
and
try
for
fur.
the potatoes, I'm just using water. I'm not using chicken broth for the potatoes. I'm just using water because the water that's in there, when I use them, I'm going to drain that water off and probably end up. I usually make mashed potatoes out of them anyway, but 9 times out of 10 they just go into mashed potatoes. But sometimes I'll throw them in soup and stews.
Well, hey, Ghost Tribe, everybody, man. Hey, I'm going to jump out of here, man. I wanted to help Chris in your channel today.
Appreciate it, brother.
Let's see what I'm working on, man. So Tuesday, is that good? Is everybody clear on Tuesday? Anybody got anything going on?
What's Tuesday?
I'm going to start doing Prepperty on Tuesday, man, if that's...
Yeah.
Oh, you going back to Prepperty again?
Yeah.
I ain't been paying attention, man. I've been working, man. You know what I'm saying?
Well, this is the first time, I'm working on it tonight, and I'm thinking about Tuesday, man. So earlier, though, because Arkansas Living said something about he couldn't get on it because it's too late. So I'm going to try to do around in between 6 and 8, and then I'll establish a time after Tuesday.
Sweet.
Yeah,
That sounds awesome.
Out, you can call me. You know that.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
I changed my number, everybody. No, that's not against anybody. I changed service and everything. Verizon was costing me $350 a month, and I'm not willing to keep paying that.
well, once you post it or whatever, I'll share it on the community too.
I'll just call you or text you with it. I'll text you with it.
Yeah,
He did,
link,
man,
Yeah.
Cherokee just doxed me right here on live, man. He said showing my address.
link's pinned, Jeff. The link's pinned at the top of the
Address. About it. I didn't know address.
Oh, okay.
Jacksonville. You know, but that's Jacksonville.
All right. I'm going back to working at this, man. I'll catch y'all around. Congratulations,
Hey,
guys. I hope you're
you,
successful in this channel, dude.
Appreciate
Drive,
it. Thank you.
Virginia.
Have a great night.
Okay.
Hey, what am I, the stephead red child here? What's the deal? Bye, Dusty.
Suzanne won't say hi either to Susanna.
Hey, Ghost. You ever try to can fur? It's a Laotian soup like. You ever can soup?
No, I don't even know anybody from Laos.
Well, I thought about seeing if I can can it or not.
I have no idea.
Shit, though. That's what got me. It's spicy as shit.
What is it?
It's called fur.
Cherokee, what is it you want to can?
It's called fur. It's like a soup, like a noodle soup thing, but real spicy.
Yeah. As long as it doesn't have cream in it or anything, or any dairy, you can can anything as long as it doesn't have any dairy in it.
It don't have
Or
none of that.
flour.
It's got a lot of pepper in it.
Yeah, Woman of Spirit. I'm gonna start videoing me making dinner and lunch sometimes because I eat my preps at least every other day.
We're gonna have to keep an eye on that pressure gauge.
Hello, Ghost. Hello, everyone in chat.
Hey, Susanna.
Hey, girl.
You're cooking, Susanna? We want to see it now.
You're not going to see anything today. I was gleaning in the fields, working for my food today.
Oh.
I was out getting drunk, so that's why I'm not canning tonight.
I am canning. It's just going to be a while because I'm just getting started. So I'm like way behind.
No problem.
But I'm still canning.
Awesome.
You ever can peppers? Hot peppers?
Yep, I just did last week. Made a video of it.
Okay, I'll look that up then.
You don't have to can.
What'd you say?
I'm going to pop off so you can get another cooker in there.
Yeah, I just put a video up of me doing the hot pepper vinegar like 3 or 4 days ago. So, yeah.
I just didn't know if it was regular peppers.
Y'all is cayenne, bell pepper, and banana pepper.
Okay.
I shared that out, Ghost.
Oh, thank you. Yes, yeah, delicious stuff.
Great.
I'm off my phone. Hi.
Hello, babe.
You too. Hey, sorry, my internet's really bad. I couldn't even hear you guys earlier.
Not a problem.
Hi, Jeff.
Well, I'm talking.
Hello, all. Hey.
Hey, sorry, my internet's really bad. I couldn't even hear
See,
you
this
guys
is what I did the other night.
Hello. Okay, I got the echo. It's gone.
Yeah,
Ooh.
Oh, pretty.
I'm trying to get them along. I want them just as I pull them off the plant.
That's what I did. I just yanked them off the plant, brought them inside, washed them, hit it up.
Okay. I won't pop off, big brother.
All right, man.
Nice seeing you, milkmaid. You're looking pretty today.
See you later, Cherokee.
Okay.
First time.
Nancy. Casey.
First time I ever seen somebody can in a dress.
I do it all the time.
Yeah, right?
I literally got in the door and ran into the kitchen. Well, first I did the restroom. I might lose you guys again.
Why? We're gonna be right here.
What's up?
Hey, you're cannon.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Yes, indeed.
Ghost,
I'm
have
so
you
proud of
ever?
y'all. And you and Neecy. So it's like double cherry right there.
Right.
Sorry, I'm still cutting up chicken and throwing it in jars.
That's what I'm doing. I'm doing both chicken and ham and bean soup.
Mm.
Oh yeah?
Yep.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah,
Bean soup. Go ahead, Milk.
I'm sorry, what?
Ghost.
What was you saying?
Oh, I was just saying, yeah, somebody had said, I think it was Zane or something, where like, that's why I put chicken next to my name. So I wouldn't have to, that way everybody knew.
Gotcha.
Huh?
Ghost, have you? Okay, I'm sorry. Have you canned potatoes without using water or no type of liquid?
No.
I'm gonna tell you what. It's got a darn good taste to them.
I've always done them in water.
Yeah, Jeff, they're like baked potatoes.
Yeah, they are.
I want a steady stream of like steam coming out of this thing, right? Before I put the 10-minute timer on.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want it to be
10 minutes.
You want it to be steaming hard like a choo-choo train for 10 minutes. And you'll see your pressure on your gauge, your pressure is going to start going up. Even though it's steaming, it's going to start going up. It'll probably be about 5 or 6 psi, and then you put the your weight on.
All right.
And then once you put the weight on, then you start your timer 40 minutes.
Gotcha. And I got to keep it at least 11 psi, right?
Keep it right around 11. You don't want it going way high, but you don't want it to drop below 10. If it drops below 10, you got to start over again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's pretty much what we got to do. We got to use the gauge and play with it. We started watching videos and stuff.
Once your gauge gets where it needs to be at 11, just slowly start turning the heat down. Because like mine, I'll be down on low within 10 minutes on my stove. My stove gets real hot. But my old stove, it was on 8 the whole time.
This stove, the damn burner turns off and on and stuff. It's like a new stove, but it has like that safety thing in the middle, and it tends to like turn off and back on and turn off and back on.
What kind of canner do you have, Purple Tribe?
Presto.
Yeah, that's what I've got.
23 quart.
Yeah,
What type of stove?
Gotta really watch the gauges on those.
Yeah.
I got lucky last night though. I don't know if it was the temp in the house and the temp outside, but my gauge stayed right at 11 pounds. It only went up one time, and it was just it went back down to 11 really fast. So I got lucky that time. But normally I have to sit on a stool and watch it the entire 90 minutes or however long I'm canning.
Yeah, that's what people were saying in the videos too. I'm like, dang it.
But it's a great canner though for people that are just starting off, and the other thing is watch your handles. The ones that are on the actual pot. I have to keep tightening the screw on that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, when I did my cabbage last week, when I went to go lift the canner to move it over, that's when I realized the handle was loose, and I was like, oh shit, you know, I got to go find a screwdriver. So when I went to go can last night, I totally forgot about it again. So I still have a loose handle, but I've had my Presto for almost a year now. I mean, I like it. I can't afford those other canners. I'm a po-folk. Ghost, I wanted to ask you a question. When you were on with Native the other night, you were talking about security stuff. Were you down in Florida when Andrew hit?
No.
Okay. Well, after Andrew hit, they put in new codes, and like, so with Francis and Jean, we were direct hits for Francis and Jean in Port St. Lucie. When they built the new houses, the garage doors had this bar that just kind of slides down and locks your garage door so that the winds won't rip it off. But they also have them for your front doors and your back door, you know, for all your doors. And I was thinking that if you could get that, that would be good for your doors. Because, I mean, if a Category 5 won't blow your door in, nobody's getting in. And they did actually test it with guns.
Wrong channel. Wrong channel. We don't talk prepping on this channel.
I know. Well, I was trying to bring it up when you were on there. And I was like, well, I'll go canning night and just see if he remembers the changes that they made.
Yeah, go ahead. All right, we got steam rocking. We're going to put the 10-minute on it.
Yep, put the 10-minute timer on it.
I have never heard of pickled corn and pickled beans.
Yeah. Basically the baby corn, the little baby corn ears.
Right. Okay.
Like pickles. And green beans, they do them just like pickles.
I'm going to have to try some of that.
They're pretty good. Especially the corn. The corn's good.
Let's see now it's
Oh, what is it that is tough? You ever had leather britches?
I can see the steam, tried.
Yeah, but the stove keeps cutting off, and now the steam's going down. It's the damn stove. See what I'm saying?
You got a glass top stove?
Nah, it's just got like a sensor thing in the middle of it. Here, I'll show you real quick.
Still think it's too
That would be a way to override it, you would think.
Oh, okay.
Got one of these damn things.
I've never seen that before.
I ain't neither.
So it's like cutting off and calming it down, and like now we ain't got no steam, so we can't do the 10-minute thing.
You might have to switch.
God, ain't even bubbling.
You might have to get some oven mitts and switch from burner to burner real slow and real easy. Like when it cuts off, switch it to one that's already on at the same temperature. Like left or right, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like when it turns off, does it just stay off until it gets cool and then you can turn it back on? Or can you just...
No, it comes back on. It's like regulating the burner or something.
I ain't never seen that.
Now it's picking back up again.
Okay. I ain't never heard of nothing like that.
Hey, it's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous.
I never had it.
But once it gets up to a certain temperature, I think it just keeps it at that temperature. So we should be all right in a little bit, hopefully.
Well, Ghost, would it hurt if he was to bump the heat up on it?
No, it ain't got nothing to do with how much heat you put into it. It's just you got to keep the pressure. You got to pump it up to it to keep the pressure.
If it turns off while the pressure's going, then it really be screwed. You know what I'm saying?
I know what I do, man. I'd almost run two burners, and when it turned off, I just pick up the canner real easy and set it over on the other one. You just got to be real easy with it, though.
Yeah, but that's going to cut off too. That's the thing. It all the burners have the same thing. So if you ain't got nothing sitting on that other burner, it's just going to cut itself off. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
That's the weirdest shit I've ever heard of. I mean, it makes sense.
I think it'll be all right once it gets to a certain point. It'll keep it that high. You know what I mean?
All right, I got you.
Oh, there it goes. Now that done lifted up. Okay, we rocking. We rocking now. We gotta stop this.
Have you got a propane stove like when you go camping?
I don't.
I was asking Prepper Tribe because if he does, then he can use that.
What is it? What did you ask?
You know, like the stoves that you use when you go camping, except for it's propane.
Yeah, I got a bunch of
them. Use that.
They say that if you use something like that, it can warp your canner.
Now,
a lot of heat to it.
There is another lady on YouTube. That's all she ever uses.
Milkmaid's got a good point, Tribe. Maybe you want to run it at 12 psi just in case the heat turns off, so it'll hold a little bit more heat.
All right.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm telling you, Milkmaid, man, she's smart, man.
Oh yeah, I hang out with smart people. I try to.
She got me on the ball this morning, man. I'm telling you. I was nervous as hell, but after talking to her, man, I calmed down my nerves and everything.
We need to get Lake Fairy and Bigfoot in here.
Hey, is he still having the same issues?
Yeah, he thinks he's got it figured out now.
Okay. I was thinking, just as a safety thing, did you see my comment?
Yeah, I posted it. I put it up there on the screen.
I can't see comments.
Oh, sorry.
But now she was saying just run it at 12 psi instead of 11. It won't hurt nothing.
Yeah.
It just cut down again.
Well, the good thing is now you can time it and see how long it takes for it to turn back on. So then you can kind of estimate where you need to be so it doesn't drop below 10 psi. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it only takes about, I don't know, 30 seconds and then it cuts back on.
Oh, you should be all right once you get up the pressure then.
Oh, yeah. It's like an electric skillet.
Yeah, once
you know
you
what
get
I'm
it up there, that'll be okay. Yeah.
Not really, because this is like the first time I've ever seen a stove do some dumb stuff like this. But now it's rocking again. Look.
It just wanted to give you a challenge. Woo!
Oh,
Yeah.
got lift off. Got lift off. It'd be all right. We rock with it.
I'm so far behind y'all.
Once we put that thing on
Hey, Milkmaid.
Hey.
Hey, Sherry Leach was asking if you could can on a induction hot plate.
I want to say I've heard something about that not being necessarily good, but I would look it up because I honestly don't know. See if other people have done it successfully. Because supposedly you can't on a camp stove, but I do, and so many other people do. So I would look and see if somebody else has tried it.
Now I'm gonna go ahead and open this up and check the jars inside to make sure they're all right, right?
Let me know how that turns out.
No. Oh, you're full of it.
I'm kidding.
Hang on, Tribe. Before you do that, let me put you on big screen. We all want to make sure we can see how pretty the jars are.
Right.
Make sure your volume's all the way up.
People in the chat, no.
You got me.
Oh yeah, we rocking. Good Lord.
Here in just a sec. I need to go get changed.
Y'all see that?
Look, y'all have a good evening. I'm gonna back out of here for the night.
Okay, Jeff, you have a good one, brother.
Good night, Jeff.
Good to see you, Jeff.
You
Good night,
too.
Jeff.
Same here. Y'all have a good one.
Debbie Sim says no, it's not good on induction.
Okay, there's your answer.
Rocking, Jack.
I thought I'd heard something along those lines.
But B Charming says she has a canner that's made to cook on induction.
Oh.
Look, I mean, I'm all for following instructions.
Yeah,
But however I can put heat to it, that's how I'm putting heat to it. Whatever I got, that's what I'm gonna use. I'm gonna figure it out and make it work. I mean, people told me you can't can on a glass top stove, and I've never canned on anything except glass top stove.
Yeah, my canner is made. I bought one that's made to cook on induction.
I think as long as you've got a flat bottom, you're fine. If you've got a concave bottom, you can have issues. It's gonna trap heat. So as long as you got a flat bottom canner, you should be fine on just about anything you want to can on. I'm gonna can on a campfire out back. I'm gonna build me a fire this winter. I'm gonna can outside.
Okay, you've got to record that.
No, I'm gonna do it live.
I'm gonna go extra like.
See, there you go. Are you gonna do like a heat shield so you can regulate the temperature?
What I'm thinking about doing is I'm gonna have a long. You remember the Viking longhouses? How they had their fire pits? They were long. I'm gonna build a fire pit like that. It's gonna be a long fire pit, so it's gonna be open flame on one side, and I'm gonna rake the coals over to the other side. And I'm gonna put a grate on it, almost like a smoker, where I can regulate the temperature better. So it won't actually be on the open flame. It'll be on the coals. I'll get a good bed of coals, and I'll just keep raking them over.
That's smart.
Well, it'll be almost impossible to regulate the temperature on an open flame. I mean, that would just be nuts. I would have to constantly be moving the cooker off the fire. This way I can just add more coals or take coals away. I can literally regulate the temperature with a shovel.
I like that idea.
Yes, I'm gonna dig a fire pit and I'm gonna brick it in, and then I got 100 feet of Cat 6 internet cable. I'm gonna just run that cable all the way out in my backyard, out to the woods, plug up the laptop, and can live in the yard out there by the
That
rabbit.
would be awesome.
I mean, it might not work the first time, but I'll figure it out.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure like anything else. Well, and that's the whole reason that I wanted to get jars and cans and a canner that I could do something like that is, if there wasn't power or fuel or something like that, you can always build a fire and you can always preserve meat that way.
That's why I wanted to practice it, because you figure, say if something happens and the grid goes down and you don't got power, well, that means you ain't got a stove. So the only way you're going to be able to preserve food and cook food is going to be on a fire. So say the grid's down and I drop a deer, I can't eat the whole deer. Maybe I don't want to waste my salt on meat. Well, if I know how to can on an open fire, then I can literally can the deer, in the backyard and continue to save the food.
Ghost, have you done a video?
Yeah, that was exactly.
Have you done a video yet on rabbits, on canning rabbit?
No, I hadn't processed any rabbits yet. They're all still too small.
They're all still alive and cute stuffy.
Actually, I think Native's going to come by this week and get his rabbit. And then I should have another batch of babies in about 2 weeks. Don't May Jr. is pregnant, so she should deliver in about 2 weeks. And then I'll rebreed Za. Don't May Jr. in 2 weeks after she gives birth. And then in another, let's see, there are 8. Within 2 months, I'll have
she's steaming, Jack.
At least 8 does breeding cycles in 2 months. So that'll be good.
How many do they usually have, like in a litter? I don't even know if they're called a litter.
They can be as small as 1. They can be as small as 1, and I've heard of rabbits actually delivering over 20 at one time.
Ooh. Ouch.
Yeah, now you don't want to leave her with
together go ouch.
But I mean, Zod delivered 9 last time, and Milk May, this is her first litter, so we'll see how she does.
So do you breed them just for selling, or do you use them for meat too?
I haven't done anything with them. I just got them. I'm gonna eat them though. I'm gonna eat them. And
I thought this was something that you had like as a business you for years.
No,
but I just mentioned So I don't really know a lot about you.
I just started it when I started my channel.
Oh.
Rabbit.
They're fun. The most we ever had was it was like either 13 or 14. But we lost 2 because honestly, the mother can't feed any more than the number of teats she has, and they have
I've got
down.
I've got 15 right.
Hmm?
I'm sorry, I thought you said total rabbits. Total, I've got 15, but yeah, 9 is a lot. But Zal didn't have a problem. She fed them all. They all stayed fat. There were no issues. So I figured somewhere between 6 and 10 is probably where you're going to average out. I'll be happy with 9 every time. I'll be happy with 6 every time. 9 was a surprise for me.
You got a good doe, she'll give you 8 or 9 and be able to raise them all.
Do what?
I said if you get a good doe, like our good does, they deliver between 8 and 10, and usually 8 to 9 they could handle raising well.
Yeah, that's why I'm keeping Zaz, all her doe, like her kits that are does. I want to keep at least 3 of them and put them into the breeding process because she was an awesome mom. And then I'm always going to breed at least 2 does at the same time or within a day of each other. I'm never going to breed one doe solo. That way, if something happens and I lose the mom or she has like 15 kits, I can foster some kits over to the other mom.
Oh yeah. We had one doe that was psychotic and she started eating all of her babies after they were born. So we never bred her again. She went in a stew pot. It was her first litter, which normally I'll give somebody a chance if they make an oopsie, but that was a big enough oopsie that I wasn't going to deal with it.
But get a taste for blood. It's not, that taste is not going away. You know, it's just she's definitely going
to.
Well, but she had 2. We rescued 2.
What you got, Tribe?
We're putting the weight on now.
Okay, set your timer. 40
been
minutes.
over 10 minutes.
Okay, yeah, put the weight on and
The
set your
pressure
timer.
gauge hasn't budged yet.
Where's it at? What's it sitting on?
So right where it sits. It hasn't even moved, so I hope it works.
Yeah, it should be fine. As soon as you put the weight on, the pressure should start climbing pretty fast, actually.
Don't be afraid. It doesn't bite. There you go.
Got me scared to death over here.
Hey, Sherry, I'll try to do a video tomorrow.
Just that.
It is a pretty dress you got on, Milkmaid.
Oh, thank you. I don't ever wear dresses, but I did for a wedding. So I'm actually going to go change here in a second. Maybe right now.
My nightie.
For this to come up. Huh?
I'm in my nightgown.
Oh, there you go. Well, I'm going to go put some comfy clothes on if you guys are. Yeah, but you got your gauge on? Or your weighted gauge?
Yeah, I think Tribe just put it on.
Nice.
When do we set the timer for 40
Oh, there it goes. Oh,
Once it gets up to pressure, once you get it to your 11 or 12, wherever you're going to put it at, you put your timer on.
All right.
See, it ain't so bad, is it?
Nah, it's all gravy, baby.
Right?
There you go.
Woo! All right, I'll be back. I'm going to do this. Is that all right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Tribe, once it gets up to pressure, then you set your timer. And now you want to watch it because if it keeps climbing past your 12 or 13 PSI, you want to turn the heat down. You don't want it to go really, really high.
And the more you do it, the better I'll get at it.
Oh, yeah. Like I can literally can from my bedroom now just by listening to my jiggler. I can tell exactly what's going on.
Yeah, we up to 5 pounds now.
Yeah, so it don't take long once you put that weight on there.
Yeah.
You just gotta remember as soon as it gets to pressure, start your timer, and you're gonna want to start backing off the heat. Like if you're on 10, you want to take it to like 8, and see if the pressure drops any, or if it's like you got to make the needle stop going up, but you don't want it to go down. You know what I'm saying? You got to find like a happy medium.
Right, right.
Yeah, like I said, with the Prestos, you gotta really watch them. But where do you live, Prepper Tribe?
Maryland.
Maryland?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so you're kind of up in the mountains then, right?
No, I'm like right on the Chesapeake Bay. I think I'm supposed like if I had to use a weight thing, it would be a 10-pounder or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They somebody had said last week that they do actually have the different weights that you can put on those Prestos, but I like the one that came with it.
Yeah, you can order them.
Yeah.
They make a 3-piece weight. It comes with 3 5-pound weights. You can put 1 on, 2 on, or 3 on, or take 1 off, or however you want to do it.
Yeah.
Ghost, do you know if that holds the pressure a little bit better than the one that comes with the canner?
I have no idea.
Pressure's dropping just a slight bit.
Yeah, Mr. All American.
Still at 5.
Yeah, I don't know.
It don't drop too much. She's right. We want to get it at 12. Look, it's dropping up.
If you want to keep it up, as long as it stays up above 11, you're good. I'd try to keep it between 11 and 13 if I was you, Tribe, especially since it's your first time with that canner.
Yeah, the oven cut off a little bit, but it's not drop like it was just over 5 and it just dropped to right on 5. So it's not dropping a whole lot when the oven goes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, once you get the pressure built up, it'll hold pretty good. Even if the oven turns off and back on, it should hold pretty good.
Yeah.
I've never seen burners like that.
It's craziness. You be cooking some bacon and it'll calm down on you and you be all mad because you're cooking your bacon perfect.
Usually does it with boiled water.
See, now it's picking back up. So
What brand of stove is that?
It's a Frigidaire.
Liberal.
Frigidaire.
That's a Liberal stove.
It's a Liberal stove.
Hey, knock it off. No politics, Ghost.
That's not politics. We're talking kitchen appliances.
Now you know I'm the only liberal in here. Come on.
I can't believe you're saying that out loud.
I'm anti-everything. Anti-liberal, anti-Republican.
Mm-hmm. I'm American.
Hey, I'm when we were over on Natives, I agree with 99.9% of what he says and what you were saying. So, you know,
my uncle's the same way.
I think that's why I get along with him, you know, and I get along with Ghost, you know. I don't sit there and, you know, I don't care. You know, it's my
That's how my uncle is. My uncle, he's Democrat, but he's not far left leaning. He's like right on the line. He believes in freedom and all that good stuff.
Yeah, I think that's kind of where I am on the spectrum too. I don't want to say I'm an independent, but you know, I can hear both sides, and I can agree with, you know, I can agree with conservatives. I can agree with liberals. I have no idea. I've been with my husband for 24 years now. Have no idea what he is. I hand to God, I don't know. He will never tell me. I don't know if he's been vaccinated. I don't know how he votes. I just know at the beginning of when we first got married, my mother told him he had to vote Democrat. And so when it came election time, he'd say, "Who do I have to vote for?"
Jerry Leach, I can't remember what Susanna said she was canning. Susanna, you still there? Can't remember what she said. I think she was.
I'm here.
Sherry wants to know what you're canning.
I'm canning chicken and ham and bean soup.
That's right. Ham and bean soup. I remember now.
Susanna, are you using ham hock in there?
No.
When you guys can ham, like say if you just bought a regular ham that's not smoked, and you cut it up and you can it, does it turn brown? You know, like a funny color?
No, I don't know. I don't think so.
I mean, it doesn't lose it. It's not that pink color, like it's like if you had cooked it in the oven.
This is the first time I'm doing it, so I don't know.
Oh, okay.
It's hitting about 13 right now. We're turning it down, but Oh yeah, now it's coming back down a little bit. It's like in between 12 and 13.
Yeah.
You should be good there. Try doing that for 90 minutes. It's nerve wracking.
Oh my goodness. It'd be better just to have that jiggler at 10 pounds and not even use the gauge.
Yep.
Oh, trust me, when that thing goes up to 15 pounds on you, you're going to hear that jiggle.
Right.
Scares
I
the
look
hell
at my
out of you.
gauge, but I use the jiggler. My gauge is off. My gauge is off by like 1.5 pounds. So
Like in between 12 and 13.
Go down a little bit.
It would be at 12.
The first time mine did that, Prepper Tribe, first time mine creeped up to 15 pounds and it started really rattling.
Right.
I had my fire extinguisher just in case the thing exploded. I'm not even thinking, I'm going to get water burn all over me. I'm going to get scalded. I'm just like, got everything ready to put it out if I had to.
It was about right at 12.
Uh-oh.
Has that gone up to 15 pounds?
Got some jigglage.
It's got jiggles going on.
Uh-oh.
Is that you jiggling? Oh, okay, it's her. Okay. She's supposed to jiggle.
Oh, jiggle. We're rated at about 12 now. I think we're doing good.
Yep.
What's up,
Hey,
Dusty?
Dusty, welcome back.
Yeah, I'll take a break for a minute, man. Thinking of these questions is giving me a headache.
Where'd you go?
Oh, I'm working with Danny on property, and my granddaughter was awake, so we're juggling things.
Ah.
I stopped over there at Prepper Steadings on Lazarus too to see if they were going to play Prepper Tuesday. So I've got 2 people signed up for it. If anybody knows anybody else wants to play, if you've never played before, or
So what is it? Explain it to me.
It's like Jeopardy, but it's property, homestead based questions, medical. A lot of it in the last season was about the things that the CDC said, what emergency, how to utilize your emergency supplies, how long you're supposed to get medicine, things of that nature.
We ain't even using as much
I'm in. I'll play.
Well, I dropped a video last night of some highlights. If you want to go stop by.
Yeah, I will. I'll go over there and take a look at it. I'm actually watching you guys on my computer, my cell phone, and my Roku TV.
It's really a hit or miss thing,
There you go, Dusty. Silverback would be a good one. He'd be a good contestant.
Right, I was running out of people. I hadn't met any new people, so I try to expand out there to meet new people. I want to have everybody on there. People don't like
me.
No secret stuff. He may have
Oh,
something.
come on.
He may have. Hey,
leave the guy alone.
He's a loner. That's all he is. A hermit, man.
I like secret.
I like people like him.
I knew exactly who he was talking about. I knew exactly who he was talking about.
He didn't make it personal. Too bad. At least he shows his face.
Yeah. and he doesn't say names, but because I had listened to both videos or streams, I knew exactly who he was talking about. Yeah, a ghost. I won't say who the other person is, but
I'm going to tell you right now, nobody in this world is perfect, and
no,
we all have our little quirks that people don't like about us. And
he just wants some attention.
Yeah.
Well, I think he makes a lot of good points. Especially with the cigarettes. My bug out location is 1.5 miles from my house, and it's actually an old military cave. And I found it purely by accident. So I've been building inside there and stuff. I could walk that, but when I get there, there's just this little small hill that I have to climb over. and I can't freaking breathe. Just going, and I'm talking high mountain roads up here in Alabama. But it's just that one little hill, and I'm like, here comes the big one, and I'm hitting my inhaler and stuff, So I kind of agree with them on that, but and I can only walk a certain amount of distances. But if I'm on flat land, hell, I can go for miles and miles.
But I like ghosts too, though. So
yeah, I know, I do too. That's what I mean. I mean, I knew exactly who he was talking about, and and if you go to the comments, I didn't say your name, but I did defend you.
See, Mitch, the water bathing is really pretty easy. The big deal about water bath is make sure you got enough water. I mean, the way I do it is I make sure I've got an inch coverage over all the jars, and, before I put them in the bowl. And then depending on what I haven't water bathed in about a year. Last time I made jams and jellies. I made my own applesauce. I put up my own peaches and all that good stuff. But water bathing, it's really easy.
Now, see, that's the thing I find the most difficult.
Holding water?
Water bath canning. But I'm also a self-taught cake decorator. I can make the most elaborate cake you want, but I cannot frost a simple cake. It looks like shit. Same thing with like back in the day when macrame was real popular. I couldn't make a plant hanger, but I could make a glass, a 3-tiered glass, really extravagant macrame table. And somebody had said it's because it's boring. You need the challenge of something, and maybe that's why I can't water bath canning, because it's boring. I like the challenge of knowing whether that pressure canner is going to blow or not. It's always really having to do things. Oh, I used to love doing it.
I don't have the time, but I see things and I'm like, gosh, I want to make one of those. So I like making those like paracord bracelets, or I had a guy asked me to make like a duck call holder for his neck, which I've got to figure out how to do that. But that's so much fun.
But that's just a simple macrame. The way you cross them, it's a macrame thing.
Yeah,
but like, if I would go to do a plant hanger, it's 4 of those. And for some reason, I couldn't keep them straight. They started twisting on me. Yeah. But then when I was making like the 3- and 4-tier tables, that had the light fixtures in them and everything came out perfect. The measurements were beautiful. I went from buying, every time I go to a powwow, I was dropping $20, $30 for dream catchers. And I'm looking at these things and I'm going, how the F are they made? I could not figure it out. And so I go online and I watched one video and I'm like, you have got to be kidding me. Well, it just happened. I had a hula hoop here and I had some thread.
Did you make one?
Some embroidery thread. I've been making dream catchers.
Right.
I go the cheap way. I buy the dollar hula hoops and I can make great big ones or smaller ones. And
oh, you're going to have to do a video on it.
How you doing, Tribe?
Doing good, man. Doing good. I got a question for y'all though.
Yeah.
I found these at the local Ace. Y'all ever use that kind of lid?
I haven't, but I've heard they're fine. I heard they're good. I've heard they're actually made
the wide mouth and the regular with the things.
Yeah.
Who was it that did a video on those? I think Sutton's Dave did a review video on those lids, and she said they were fine. She had no problem with them at all.
Yeah, she did just recently.
They had
hardware. Hardware does have the ball canning lids now too. Yeah, the only place you can get them. Yeah, the wide mouth and the small ones.
There you go. Yeah, I'd heard the same thing, Ghost.
I've heard they're fine.
I didn't watch the video, but I think I've like fast forwarded through some of it. I get so many notifications.
I shut mine off. I shut mine off. You got you new.
Hello, Sammy. Welcome to the channel.
I'll be honest, man. I had to turn a lot of people's notifications off.
Did you?
Yeah.
I don't turn them off, but I've noticed that unless I've watched something from a channel recently, they don't always show up in my notifications. Because I try to support people, like I try to leave comments and likes and all of that stuff. But and I've learned to utilize the 2x because I can listen at a very fast speed. So that helps.
Well, I was subscribed to thousands of people, and notifications were coming through like crazy. So I kept them out.
Oh yeah.
And it's still killing my battery.
Oh really? Are you in the bunker?
Nah, I'm in the studio.
Oh, there you go.
Rosanna says Jenny uses those lids all the time, Tribe.
Oh, there we go.
Rosanna says Jenny Go uses those lids all the time with the jars.
All right, I don't even know who Jenny Go is.
Just for anybody that might want to know, we got the burner turned all the way down to 3, and we're holding at like 11.5, perfect for like the last 10 minutes.
Awesome. See?
Yeah, once you find the sweet spot on your stove, you're good. The only thing that's going to change is if you go, it depends on what you're canning. Like if you're canning and your canner's completely full, like if I fill mine up with 14 quart jars, if I go 2 rows or 2, then it gets super hot, super fast, like real fast. And I can turn it down like pretty much on off and it'll still hold pressure. But if I've got it like half full with like 4 quart jars, and the rest is water, it takes it longer and I have to process it at a higher speed for some reason. But if I got if it's completely full, then it works like nobody's business. If it's halfway full, it takes a little bit more energy for some weird reason. You would think it would be the opposite way, but it's not.
Right.
See, it's kind of cool that you had that thing to work through with other people. And then anybody who watches this later on who sees that same issue, now they're going to be able to figure it out. Like a perfect canning's boring. I mean, really. Yeah. So you want something to learn.
Okay,
I freaked out over the jiggler. I totally freaked out over the jiggler. I didn't know if I had the right one, if I needed something different. But once you got that gauge, you're good.
Yeah, any kind of different questions, you direct those to Susanna. She has all the jiggler answers. Apparently, Jenny Go is up there with Linda's Pantry and Sutton Stage. She must be a pretty big.
I see that. I'll have to look her up.
Oh, Rose Red Homestead's another good one to watch. She gets into the science of it, and where the botulism is, and things like that.
I think that's important to learn because once you understand the science behind it and the reasoning behind all of it, then it kind of takes some of the guesswork out of it and you can make kind of informed choices and decisions and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
As long as you're keeping it over 240 degrees, which is 10 psi at my elevation, as long as you're over 240 for the processing time, you're killing any kind of botulism.
Yeah.
Even
Tribe's got to be at like 100, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of times people say, "Oh, you don't need to sterilize your jars if you're doing the can." And technically you don't because the canning process itself is a sterilization process. But lots of time I do it anyway, just to be on the safe side. I mean, why do all that work? And you could just takes just a couple of minutes for that extra step. You're better off.
We didn't sterilize the jars. We fucked up. I mean, we messed up.
No,
I didn't sterilize mine either.
You only sterilize for water bath canning.
Yeah.
When they're in the canner, they're getting sterilized.
Yeah. I just wash them really good, make sure they're really, really clean. And the pressure canning process is a sterilization process. So you're good. But now water bath canning, yes, definitely sterilize your jars because it's not a pressure canning process.
Right.
Yeah.
See, that's what I did last time, Tribe. I actually sterilized the jars when I was trying to pressure can. He's like, "Oh no, you didn't need to do that." And I'm like,
I mean, a lot of people do, and it doesn't hurt anything. A lot of people do, and it doesn't hurt anything. I mean, if you want to do it, do it.
Right.
But it's like, it's like when we did ghee last week. I sterilized the crap out of those jars because there's no processing involved in it. You know what I mean? It's just the hot ghee. But I sterilized them just to make sure they were super, super clean and super sterile. just as a safety precaution.
I gotta tell you, man, I'm really surprised at how well the pressure stays right where you want it. Like that's why I guarantee you people are gonna be worried about that. Like I was really worried. Like I thought it was gonna be going up and down and trying to figure it out. But if you just slowly bring your heat down, it really works. Like now I'm at like 2.5 and it's still right between 12 and 11.
Yeah,
There you
I'm
go.
down to 2.
So what do you want to prep next, Prepper Tribe?
I'm gonna do carrots tomorrow.
There you go.
I might even do potatoes and carrots together too.
You can start getting real creative and having fun with it.
Oh yeah, look at Virginia. She cans like everything for
I
real.
know she's doing hard.
I'm starting to think she works at the produce store.
All right, that's around.
You see her knife skills?
Oh,
Pretty good.
mad knife skills. Mad knife skills.
But she's Japanese. She's got that samurai warrior crap in her, man. She's good with a sword too.
Uh-huh.
You'll never waste food again. Like you know, how many times does potatoes go bad sitting in your damn cabinet or something? Like you'll never let food go bad again.
As soon as my potatoes start growing little eyes on them, I throw them in dirt and throw a bunch of baby potatoes out of them. I've grown them in the dead of winter here.
What?
But potatoes, whenever I leave them in my thing and they start sprouting eyes, I throw them in a pot of dirt. And then I end up with a bunch of baby potatoes in the wintertime.
Nice.
Nice.
So I recycle everything. If you cut the end of an onion like halfway and stick it in a little dish of water, you can grow all brand new onions. You get the scallions off the tops of them. Let's see what else. What else? Oh, celery. Put that
Celery never dies.
cut the bottom off. Stick that in a little dish of water, and you end up with parsley.
Yeah, celery never dies. Like celery never dies. It just keeps growing and growing and growing.
What? I mean, grow some
Dude,
celery.
I put 6 things of celery in my aquaponic system when I first did it, and I had to cut 5 of them out with a saw. They were taking over. I couldn't eat it fast enough. Every time I cut off a string of celery and use it, a new one would grow. So I pulled 5 out and just had 1, and it was in my system for like 14 months. It was still there when I sold the house. It was still growing when I sold the house.
Damn.
Like, yeah, celery don't die.
I'm gonna end up doing that. You watch. I'm gonna end up doing that in hydroponics.
And
I just got the pump in the mail. I just got my new pump in the mail Wednesday to do my hydroponics.
Nice.
Yay.
Amazon had it on sale for $15.
You're gonna do all videos, total process of doing it?
Yeah.
I would like to see that, Ghost, because I've had a little hydroponic kit, and I just didn't know how to start it.
I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do hydroponics and aquaponics. I'm gonna do the fish again too.
Hey, I got some seeds from Vietnam. Can I use them?
See, at this moment, I would feel competitive. Like, you know what? Let's see who can outperform each other in this and get the most.
No. I would win because I do not buy my vegetables. I don't buy my vegetables at the grocery store. I go in the dumpster. I go in the dumpsters and get them, and then I regrow them from the dumpster stuff.
I've always been so scared of it. You know what I mean?
I like this competition idea.
All that stuff, man.
What's about efficiency? Ghost was making a point that said when he does it, how much energy you put into the hydroponics versus just the soil. He did better on the soil.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. That's why I did that experiment. I mean, I'm gonna still do hydroponics in the wintertime, but I think I'm gonna combine it with the soil because it's better. I mean, it is what it is. Like if I had a huge hydro setup with the lights and all that good stuff, and I do have some grow lights in the basement. I got to finish cleaning the other side now that I finished my shelves. But I'm going to set up a hydroponic, like a test area, and it's going to be wrapped in aluminum foil. So what little light does come in the half windows, I can get it to bounce all over the entire room. So I can still get sunlight everywhere instead of just a little bit. And I'll do like tomatoes, potatoes. I'm going to just do some random stuff. Obviously collards, some lettuces and stuff for the rabbits. But I'm gonna just see what I can get to grow through the winter, you know.
Hey, go.
I know hydroponics, Dusty growing.
Got a question for you, Ghost.
Yeah.
I got some special seeds from Vietnam, from the Vietnam War. Can I grow those in hydroponics?
I don't know. Try it and let me know. See what happens.
How do you start them?
I have no clue.
I would assume like any other seeds.
You know, Neecy's half Vietnamese. Her mom's 100% Vietnamese, straight out of Saigon.
I guess it was some pretty good seeds back in those days.
That's where you get your gorgeous hair.
Huh?
Niecy's hair is so gorgeous. That's where she gets it.
That's all that's all the Panamanian in her.
Look, you gonna get up. You gonna get up on the that thing says.
So how'd you make out on your garden, Tribe?
What's up?
How'd you make out on your garden? Did a hurricane mess it up?
Nah, I was good, man. The turnout wasn't all that great. We got a bunch, but they were like small and stuff. I put too much in each bucket. Like I'm growing 5 pepper plants in one bucket, like a dumbass. You know what I mean? So next year, I'm just gonna do 1 plant in each bucket, and then grow more on the ground too.
You can do.
But my cherry tomatoes, man, my cherry tomatoes were awesome. They got like 8 feet tall, probably maybe even 9 feet tall, but they fell over.
Yeah.
You can do in a 5. Oh yeah, in a 5-gallon bucket. In a 5-gallon bucket, Tribe, you take 1 tomato plant and you put it to the back edge of the bucket, and then you take a pepper plant and you put it at the front edge of the bucket. Peppers and tomatoes grow real good together. They like make each other grow better. They like they share like nutrients and stuff. Like
you know what did real good too is I put basil and I didn't have any bug problems.
Yeah, basil's really good.
Yeah, I put basil in with everything and it grew real good with the tomato plants.
Oh yeah, it'll turn into a bush. Basil grows like that. What you don't want to do,
I got one right now that's probably 4 foot high.
If you do mint, make sure you have it in a container because it'll take over the entire yard.
Yep.
Mint is crazy.
Yeah, we have spearmint.
I had to rip out my whole aquaponics thing because of the mint. It took over the whole bed. I had to just shut it down, rip everything out, and start over. But I didn't have any bugs.
That's true. Well, I have it all along the front of my porch. I've got like peppermint, spearmint, chocolate mint, orange mint, you know, all those different mints. And then I let my animals in the yard to graze, and the cow went walking through all the mint, and all you could smell was mint everywhere.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Anytime you don't want to do something, you're like super.
That also stepped on my rosemary bush. I wasn't terribly happy about that.
I have 3 plants out there that I know are I think one is what the hell are they? Basil. Anyway, they're seasonings. It's the word I'm looking for.
Right.
I have no idea what's what. And I tried to
crush it.
I can't tell because I don't use cilantro, and I'm sure one of them's a cilantro plant. The sage is it's a yard sage, so it's not the kind you eat. And the other one, I have no idea what it is. I can't identify the flavor, can't identify the smell. No clue what it is. But I wanted to freeze dry them and then, or dehydrate them. But unless I know what the hell they are,
yeah,
I don't know what to do with them. So they're just out there growing crazy.
You need to get a foodie over to your house and let them taste them all. They'll tell you exactly what they are.
No, this is quite easy to do though.
Huh? Oh, I totally do. I'm like picking stuff and chewing on it. Wait, is that the? Well, I've learned to look at them and know that like my oregano and thyme and.
I think we can do.
That's all the stuff that I planted. Now I did put popsicle sticks in them, and I wrote on there what they were. But with all the rain and stuff we had, I went out there to go look, and I'm like, okay, I have no clue what's in what now because
you can email me. Alley
can.
Cat, I can give you my email and you can email me some pictures and I'll see if I can help with
I
that.
will do that.
Because
I mean, they're nice and green and everything. They look real pretty, but I haven't got a freaking clue what they are.
yeah.
Not a clue. I just knew that I picked up the wrong sage.
I wondered where Susanna went. She dropped her phone and broke it.
You what?
It's nice that it's only two though, because
Yeah, I'm assuming she dropped her phone.
Oh no.
The pressure and boom, you're there.
I wonder where she went. She just like disappeared.
Yeah, I was wondering that myself. Then I knew that at one point she had an issue with her phone freezing, so I thought maybe that was it. When that last thing, I guess. You know, the hardest thing that I dealt with when I was learning how to garden was when I planted from seed in the ground, trying to tell the difference between the thing I planted and the thing that, you know, maybe it was just a weed or something coming up.
Yeah.
Once I learned that, I mean, because you can look online and you can try to find what the seedlings look like, but they don't. The first leaves don't look anything like the rest of the plant.
The first leaves are all the same. First leaves almost identical in all plants.
Yeah.
Most of your garden plants, the first leaves, those aren't true leaves, and they all look alike.
Especially all the brassicas.
Yeah.
They all have heart shapes on, like two-sided heart shapes.
Well, I did all mine in raised beds and the bags, which I accidentally bought the bags. I go to this place where they have things that are from $8 down to 25 cents. And I got the great big, I think they're gallon-sized grow bags, and I got 100 of them for 25 cents. But I didn't know what the hell they were at the time until I went in to get garden seeds and stuff, and I saw them there and saw how much they were, and I was like, well, damn, I got a hell of a deal on those.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, so I did plant like the Three Sisters. I did the corn, the beans, and the squash. And I got one little itty bitty ear of corn, and that was it. And so I opened it up, and there was a few little nice little kernels on it. That we had just got hit with like 7 weeks of straight rain, and it pretty much drowned everything. But I did I planted a beefsteak and a Roma tomato together. And I think that one suffocated the other one out.
Yeah, my phone gets hot too when I'm on StreamYard for too long. That sucker, I feel like it's about to blow up.
And they say that if you end up not getting a seal, just eat them. Cook them up and eat them. But
just be careful charging it while you're on StreamYard too, because it will get really hot and just shut off.
I'm doing that right now. Like, I gotta feel it. I mean, I could just
how do y'all store all y'all jars?
Out of the sunlight.
You can't stack them, right?
You can go too high. You can stack them too high, but you want to. All right, after you do. Oh, you talking about in the canner or in storage?
No, like after you're done and they're all done, and you want to put them somewhere.
When you figure that out, let me know.
What you do? This is what I did last week. You take the ring off. Take the ring off. Where you just got the lid. That's it. Wash it real good. Make sure you wash these grooves real good. Get all the food out. Wash the outside off where it's good and clean. And then, like I put mine in the basement on the shelves. You can stack these things. You can go too high without any rings. I try not to, but you can if you do stack them. What I do is I make sure that there's even force on the lid. So I'll take the box that the jars came in. Don't throw your boxes away. And I put those 12 jars in that box, and I'll fill up another box, and I'll sit it directly on top. If you want to go more than too high, take your rings, and you want to do. Hang on, let me show you.
I probably won't do that though.
My problem is.
I'm gonna tell you a true story. You want to take your ring, you want to put it on the lid, but all right. Well, if I get it. All right,
you're breaking up, Ghost.
You want to put it halfway on, where it stays on, there's jiggle. That way, the weight, you're gonna stack it. That way, the weight of whatever you're putting on top of it, the weight is on the threads. It's not on the lid. There's nothing touching it. It's just on the thread. And I loaded a U-Haul truck with, I don't know how many, well over 1,000 jars of food.
Wow.
In the back, and I had them stacked 5 and 6 cases high with the rings on. The rings were taking the weight, and I only lost 1 jar.
I remember
it was,
about that.
Yeah, I only lost 1 jar. Now, if you're going to store them higher than that, I would say put the rings on and let the rings take the weight. But you don't want the weight to be on the lid because if it's uneven, if you press it on one side, it can pop loose on this side.
Yeah, see, I'm chicken. I won't stack them.
Yeah, I don't think
I've never seen it explained that way. That actually sounds
I can
good.
stack. I'll go too high, but I put them in the boxes, and I've never had any issues ever in years. I've never had any issues as long as the weight is even. A lot of people will even get a sheet of plywood, like 1/4-inch plywood, and they'll have a layer of jars, and they'll put the plywood on it, and they'll put another layer of jars. That way, the weight's even and it's not on the lid. But if you put the rings on, then you ain't got to worry about it. Now your weight's on the threads. There's no weight on the lid, so you're safe. You're good. I mean, I did it in the back of the U-Haul, bouncing 1,000 miles, and only lost 1.
Yeah, that's crazy.
No.
So.
Thank
And I
you,
learned that
Susanna.
trick from the Alaska Prepper. Rudy's the one that showed me that in one of the videos on doing the
With
ring. Yeah.
It makes
I learned
sense.
a lot.
I mean,
I learned a lot from Rudy.
Well, I mean, so have you explained to Tribe why you don't leave the rings on?
You don't leave the rings on because you can get what's called a false seal. Like, you know, when you first bought your jars, if you bought them in the summertime and you brought them home and you sit them on the kitchen counter, like all day long, you hear jars sealed, they'll pop and unpop, pop and unpop. And that's almost like what a false seal is. You get a false seal just because you got the rings on there. The rings are basically holding the lid in place, and it didn't seal correctly, but the ring gave it a false seal where it looks like it's sealed. It could have resealed. If you don't have the ring on there and that seal pops, you'll know it. And
I remember y'all talking about that. I remember little stuff like that. That's good. That's good info, though, man. That's good info.
Yeah, you don't want to be eating no bad food.
Yeah, that's the only thing that really scared. Well, that and blowing up the house. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, I threw away a jar of smoked sausage the other day. When I went downstairs and got it, and I went to undo the seal, and I barely pulled, and the seal popped. I threw it away. You know, if it ain't got a really good seal on it, I ain't taking a chance on it. I ain't doing it. I mean, when I went to pull it, it just like I barely had to pull in it, and the seal popped, and it sounded perfect, but I didn't have to pull very hard. And I'm like, nope, that ain't working. Not for me.
Don't want to take no chances.
Nope.
Yeah, Tribe, that's the biggest misconception that even I learned about. It's not going to blow anything up, you know.
As long as you got water in there, it ain't going to blow anything up. When you run out of water, let me tell you something. I fell asleep one night when I was canning. I was doing like an all day, all night canning section. I canned like 8 loads, and I fell asleep when I had heat to the canner, and I woke up and I could just hear my jigglers going nuts, the beepers going off on my timer. I come in the kitchen and I went like a half an hour past my processing time. I killed the power real quick. It come down to 0. I'm thinking everything's gonna be blowed up. Everything was fine in the canner. All my stuff was processed fine, but I was down to like maybe an 1/8 of an inch of water. You know, if all that steam cooked off, then there would have been a problem. You know, so that water is very important. I always do at least 2 to 3 inches of water in the bottom. I ain't running out of water.
Yeah.
The first time I canned, I actually pretty much ran out of water. I had less than an 1/8 of an inch, and that bastard was raising temperature and raising pressure. I couldn't stop it. I had to turn it off. But of course, that first time was pretty adventurous anyway. But yeah, I did. I about ran out of water, and I was scared as crap when I opened it because it was like, oh damn, 10 more minutes, and this would have started making a bomb. You know.
Yeah, I know a lot of people say, don't stack them. But I'm here to tell you, if you put the rings on and you just halfway tighten them, I'll stack them to the ceiling, and I ain't the least bit worried about it. I mean, if it can handle the back of a U-Haul truck bouncing through the country roads in North and South Carolina, stacked 6 and 7 high, I ain't worried about it in my basement. I'll stack them to the roof, but I'll put the rings on.
I bet that took forever, man, because I know you wanted to be precise on every turn.
Dude, it took, like, just doing the food in the U-Haul took me a whole day. For real.
Yeah.
Like a whole day. Get it loaded, you know, and half a day to get it unloaded. You know, it was because I was real particular on where I put it in the truck. You know, I made sure everything was close to the wheel hub. I wanted it the weight balance right, and I didn't want a whole lot of bounce to it. But yeah, it took a whole day just for the food.
I'm liking this pressure gauge method because you ain't got all that noise and things jiggling and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the only catch is you got to make sure your gauge is regulated. Like my gauge is off about 1.5 pounds. Like when mine says 11 to 11.5 psi, that's when my jiggler starts going. That's when I'm at 10 psi. I can get it calibrated. I can fix it. I mean, I can probably do it myself, but I just listen to the jiggler. You know, I just do that because that way I ain't got to keep looking at the gauge. Like I can just do it by my ear and go around the house and do whatever I want to do. You know? But like you got the 15 psi gauge, so you're gonna know if you go too high because your weight's gonna start making noise.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it definitely will on a Presto.
Are you using a gas stove, Purple Tribe?
Nah, it's electric.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I lost my jiggler.
What?
No way.
Yeah.
You don't have it tied. You don't have it tied.
Huh?
How did you lose your jiggler? You don't have it tied to your lid?
No.
That's the first thing I did was mine is tie it to my lid. I took some 550 cord and
You know,
stripped the
I've
middle out.
seen that, and people use these chains and all that stuff, and no, I haven't done it, and that really sucks because now I don't know where it is.
How can you?
Well, you know that's not run because I spent all morning worrying about a damn jiggler with Milkmaid, and now Milkmaid ain't got no jiggler.
That's hilarious.
You can without it.
I'm gonna keep searching because this keeps venting, so I gotta hurry.
Yeah. All it's gonna
I'll
do
be
is.
back.
All right. You better find it.
I got 2 minutes. 2 minutes, and I can turn it off.
Yeah, I turned mine off about 4 minutes ago. Mine's coming down to pressure.
All right, now when I turn it off, you just let the pressure come all the way down to 0. The pop thing goes down, and then you can take off your jiggler thing.
Yep.
And
You
then
let it come all the way down
before you open.
10 minutes.
10 minutes. That's after you take the jiggler off. You wait 10 minutes.
Yep. It's just a safety feature. Lots of times I don't because if there's no steam coming out, there's no pressure in there. It's common sense. But a lot of people wait to 10 minutes. Sometimes I do. I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes I don't. Like tonight, I probably won't. I'll take the jiggler off. If it ain't steaming, I'm taking the lid off. That's just me. Don't anybody copy me. I'm just saying, you know, if there was pressure in there, stuff would be flying up out of that little hole. Okay. It is what it is.
Right. Man, this is crazy, man. We've been live for 2 hours, and it seems like it's only been like 10 minutes.
Oh, dude, you remember that one show you were with me? We were 6 hours. That was yeah. I was hot 6 hours that one night.
Yeah.
But when you're doing stuff, it don't feel like it's taking that long.
Nope. Oh, down to a minute. Oh shit!
Damn, Tribe looks more excited than Chris Lazarick was. Look at him. Look at his face.
Right?
Look at him.
Go Tribe.
Yeah.
Yep.
No fear, folks. No fear. And pay no attention to the woman who can't find her jiggler. She's lost responsibility.
Ghost, I want you to keep score of how many people that are new coming in doing it for the first time.
A lot. Like I'm in double digits. I'm in at least double digits by now. At least probably about 20 people at least. Because there's been first time canners that were in the chat that can with us but just didn't get on the panel. And see, now what's gonna happen is the next time Tribe goes to the store like Costco or a grocery store or something like that, and Neecy's gonna tell us if he's lying. He's gonna be like, "Ooh, baby, I can can that. Oh, I bet I can can that shit too. I can can that." But I do it when I go down the aisle. I'm like, "Yep, I'm gonna can that. I'm gonna can that. I'm gonna can that."
Yeah, I'm
If I
gonna
find
make my
something on
whole
sale,
room just for my jars.
oh yeah,
Try
Well,
wait
they
till you
sell.
start getting into meats and stuff.
3, 2, 1, baby, yeah.
They sell them industrial shelves at Lowe's.
All right, cool. We
I
all
just finished. I
You want to
just
see when
finished
he takes
building
them
my
out of the
shelves.
canner.
Yeah, I just finished building my shelves downstairs for the can stuff. Heavy duty shelves that can hold some weight. I just finished rebuilding those. I'm gonna do another video on that.
Did you get the one that was 4,000 pounds?
Dude, the ones I built downstairs, they can hold. Man, I don't know how many hundreds or how many thousands, but they gonna hold some weight. I'm gonna put some weight to them. I mean, they're stout. They're sturdy.
Yeah, the ones I bought from Lowe's, they said 4,000 pounds on there, but it really won't do it because once you put weight on it, the metal pops out when it bows down. So
Yeah.
you have to pull the support back to it.
Right.
It's like a flimsy I-beam. I don't know what you got, but I had a flimsy I-beam inside
I got. Yeah, I did 2x4s with tap cons into the brick wall. You know, so my back edge of my shells ain't going nowhere. They're into the foundation of the house. They're not moving. Like I can go down there right now and just grab, shake, kick, and them shells don't budge. So I know they'll hold thousands of pounds. They'll hold all my stuff and then some.
Yeah, I tried mine out with all the water bath. We were doing jellies. So at the bottom of it, it just started bowing. I'm like, well, I can't stack no more. It said 4,000 pounds. I want my money back.
Right.
Let's go down, baby. We're already at 11.
It's 4,000 pounds, but it's 4,000 pounds of weight distributed evenly across the whole thing. You know what I mean?
Per square inch.
Yeah.
Should I move it off of the burner?
Oh, don't touch it.
Don't touch it. All right.
Yeah.
Don't touch the jiggler.
Did you find yours?
Did you find yours, self-made?
So here's one of two places I think it could be. Number one, I accidentally left it under my rack in my canner. And didn't check because I was in a rush when I got here. Or number two, the toddler that I have running around here all the time loves to grab stuff and put them in little hiding places everywhere. I found my deodorant in the living room drawer thingy. Like
Well, hopefully it's underneath your rack.
Huh?
Hopefully it's under your rack.
That's what I'm hoping. That was a weird sentence.
Yeah.
I wish I had a 2-year-old I could blame that stuff on.
Yeah, check under your rack.
In the steamy hot
I don't have it.
What I think I might have to do is go ahead and turn it off, let it come down, and refrigerate it, and then try canning it again tomorrow.
Yeah.
If it's underneath of it, because y'all learn my dumb mistake.
As soon as it cools off, you'll find it.
Yeah.
Right.
Amy, you can do it. You just seen Tribe do it. You know?
He was scared to death.
Yeah. Virginia Roots did it the first time here. So did Susanna. So did Dusty.
I was scared to death. It's not that hard once you get used to it.
Try the Super Bowl shuffle now.
I was on about 12 psi most of the time, Cherokee. I just turned it off, so I've got about probably 20 minutes or so before I can open it.
Run up tomorrow and grab it.
I thought Cherokee was going to do it too.
I don't know.
Or was it Backwoods? It might have been Backwoods.
Backwoods has been saying he's going to do it for the last 4 months.
Uh-huh.
You think he's nervous?
I think he's going to have to now. Tribe stepped up here and did it. You stepped up here and did it. So we all going cold shouldering for being scared.
Being scared.
He's probably in the chat right now watching. What, Neecy?
Can we can cabbage?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have.
She did it last week.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Do you make cabbage rolls? They sounded so good. Or alley
She did cabbage rolls.
Hold on.
Yeah.
I'll show it to you.
No, I
I'm
guess
gonna do meatloaf. I'm gonna do meatloaf. I'm gonna do some more bacon. I want to do some more bacon. Maybe we should do bacon next. You want to do bacon again?
We can do bacon again. I found some on sale. Surprise, surprise.
Lord, I ain't doing bacon.
There
That's
you
like
are.
pros, man.
That's what?
Yummy.
Canning bacon is like for pros.
No, it ain't. No, it is not.
Dude, you're pro now. If you
All
go
you
through
do is
one
wrap it
canning
up,
session,
it's in the jar. It's the same thing that you did right now. Is that everything's the same, Tribe. The only thing that changes is how long you let it pressure.
yep. I mean, there's some little things. But, huh?
Everything's the same.
What's
Once
the
you
stuff
get it in the jar,
I did last week?
the only thing that changes is what you do before you put it in the jar. After you put it in the jar and put it on the stove, everything's the same. Like
Time's
everything
just
is the
different
exact same once you put it on the stove. But nothing changes. You put it on the stove, you set your timer. That's it. That's all you do. It's all the same.
But it's different. It's not the same. If we can our own chicken, it's going to be way better than that shit we buy.
Mine is.
Cheaper too.
Oh yeah, Native keeps saying he's gonna can too, but he ain't.
Chickens. Chickens.
Native and Backwoods need to pull their skirt up and come on here and can with us.
My prepping game just upscale big time, Jack.
You
can't mess with the prepping skills.
You burned your bread, dude.
Okay, so how do I do this? I'm making you a baseball card, a prepper baseball card that says Tribe has this skill now. Add it to it.
Put a brush
Like a Boy Scout badge. Like a Boy Scout badge. Just do a canning jar.
No, I think the time's gonna be the same, Klingon. It should be exact.
Probably.
Time's not gonna change at all because it's meat. It's gonna be an hour and a half. Period.
Yeah.
What do you do with canned bacon? I know it's a dumb question. What do you
eat it?
I mean, how do you can it, or how do you?
Why do you can it? Because usually I just eat bacon on a pan. I fry it and eat it with eggs. Why would you can bacon?
You open up the jar. I mean, it's long-term food preservation for SHTF. You open up the jar, dump it out. You can still put it on the pan and heat it up and get it crispy if you want, or you can just eat it right out of the jar.
Okay, so it's ready to eat kind of thing?
Oh yeah, everything when you can something, it's ready to eat right out the jar. You ain't even got to heat it if you don't want to.
Okay, I'm just wondering, like, canned bacon.
Remember we watched this video and he had all those cans of different food. He said every single one of them you could just open up and just eat that
right
shit
out of it.
because that's the whole thing. Like, if a grid goes down and you can't cook, you can't refrigerate something. Like we'll have this, like you'll be able to eat it. It doesn't matter. No preparation. Open it and eat it, and you'll have calories.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if you ain't got power and you want to cook it, hey, there she is. I mean, you can just take the jar. You can just take the jar and sit it outside in the sunlight. It'll heat it up for you. I mean, when I work construction, when I get to the job site in the morning, I take my sandwich and I throw it on the dashboard of the truck. And it 30 degrees outside, but come lunchtime, my sandwich was hot.
Yep.
Hi, Danny.
It's like a lot of people do hey, Danny, a lot of people do the rice and the beans and they'll waste a mason jar, dry canning rice and beans. I don't do that because that's a waste of a mason jar. Every jar I have, I can eat what's in it right here, right now. Now, rice and beans, I still put it up, but they go in Mylar bags. You know what I'm saying? But you know, because
ain't it way better to cook the beans and have them jarred though?
yeah, because then you ain't got no problem. You ain't got to like if shit hits the fan and you got 5,000 pounds of dried rice and dried beans put up, but ain't none of them cooked, and you ain't got water, and you ain't got power. Now you got to cook it. So you got hours that you got to put into cooking those rice and beans. I can just open the jar and start eating. That was my whole thing. You know, it's like quick, easy, done.
Yeah.
There's no process and no preparation time.
Great, man. I'm gonna be canning for the next 20 years, man. It's all over with. Like you done created a monster.
Yep, he's made a few.
Sorry, guys.
What's on next week's agenda? What are we going to be canning?
I don't know. I don't know. Well, let's think of something. Tribe, what you want to can next week?
I don't know, man.
Put him on the spot.
Let's get you to can some meat.
Probably with me, I would probably want to can like a soup or a stew. I love soups and stews, so like something like that.
I got a pretty good recipe for hamburger soup.
Hamburger soup?
Yeah. All it is hamburger meat, and then I get a bunch of the frozen vegetables in the bag. You know, the corn, the carrots, I get green beans. Actually, what I do is every time I make it, I've made it different. I just use hamburger meat, and I'll saute up some garlic and give it some good flavor. And then I'll take like any kind of beans I can think of. I'll get like 10 different kinds of beans, and I open in the cans, and I open them and just throw it in there, mix it up, make me a little bit of soup, and then I can it. It's delicious, man. Carrots, potatoes, all that stuff, man. It's good.
Now, believe it or not, now I add some of that concentrated vegetable, Campbell's vegetable beef, and it really perks up that hamburgers.
Yeah, I'm gonna use this time when I do it. I'm gonna use beef broth. I'm gonna use some of that bouillon to give it a nice frothy, thick brothy flavor to it. So yeah, I mean you can do any kind of meat. You could do hamburger meat. You could do sausage. We just did chili, and we did spaghetti already. But yeah, we hadn't done
done
hamburger.
beef stew.
Huh? Yeah, we did beef stew.
You've done beef stew also. Yeah.
It doesn't matter that you're canning meat with vegetables, like the vegetables won't get over canned.
No, they might get a little mushier, but
yeah, they might be a little bit softer, but big deal. It's soup.
Yeah.
Right.
You're gonna do it and eat it anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
Yeah.
tribe. You get Neecy to catch a whole bunch of fish, and then you can can them.
Yep.
Yeah.
You got mad skills.
I wonder if you can can crab.
What?
Yeah.
I wonder if you can can Maryland crab.
I want to know about lobster. I want
Yeah,
to
you
know.
can can lobster, you can can crab, you can can any kind of fish, you can can any kind of meat protein.
You
Can you can lobster, or can you can a whole lobster?
I don't.
When you do a soup or a stew, you go ahead and cook the whole soup up, like you could eat it and then you can it, or is it raw and then you can it?
I do like I make like hamburger meat. I make sure it's cooked because you want to get rid of most of that grease. And then now you could throw the vegetables in there raw if you want to. They'll cook during the process. But with me, it was just quick and easy. I just grabbed them from the grocery store in a big bag of frozen vegetables, and I grabbed a few cans of the canned beans that I had, and they were getting close to their best by date, and I just threw them all in the pot, stirred it up, and recanned them, and they're delicious.
Yeah.
What's up?
Yeah, like all that stuff in your cabinet, the best by date's getting close. Yeah,
right.
Do a recipe, throw it in the jar and can it.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
It's like a whole new world.
Now, Tribe, he talks about canning milk too now.
Yeah, I can milk.
No.
That's easy. That's easy.
Crickets.
Well, I
thickens up. Like you would get thicker cream milk down south or something in the can.
Yeah, it's like condensed milk, man. It's just like in South America, that's what they drink for milk. They don't do whole cow milk. They have canned milk down there, and that's what they use on their cereal and stuff like that. It's an acquired taste. It's just like a really sweet milk. All you gotta do is pour it in some water and go 50-50 and mix it up with a little bit of chocolate syrup. And man, you got the best chocolate milk you ever had. But like
I grew up drinking that.
I use it for making like my macaroni and cheese. I use that canned milk. Oh man, that's good stuff. It's good with macaroni and mashed potatoes. It's good with these potatoes that are in this pressure canner. I'll get some of my canned milk from downstairs. That's what I'll pour in it. I don't use regular milk. I use the canned milk and butter, and the best mashed potatoes you ever ate.
So yeah, you can preserve all your favorite little treats like milk and stuff.
Yeah, the only thing you can't can is like rice and pasta because they just turn into mush. I mean, it's just a big ball. You can't do flour. You don't want to do any kind of thickener. You don't want to can anything, anything with any kind of thickener. You want to wait and put that in after. Like if you're doing some meat and you want some gravy, do the meat with the juice, and then when you cook it later, make your gravy.
I Mylar bagged my flour, and I froze it for about a week, so it'd kill anything in it, and I stored it in 5-gallon buckets. Man, I got all kind of food, man. I just ain't showing. You don't need to see how much food I got.
Like like when I first, let's see, it was probably about 2 years ago when I was in the store. They had a sale on Boston butt roast, and they had them, bro. They were like 80% off. Like I got like $600 worth of meat for like $75. I got like 12 to 14 Boston butt roasts. I brought them home, and I spent the entire weekend cooking and canning pulled pork. I got like 5 cases of pulled pork downstairs.
Nice.
Like when you find stuff on sale, I buy it up. I come home and I can it. Like for real. When I find hamburger meat on sale, I buy it on can it.
Deals.
I'm
Jenny,
really thinking about the sloppy joes you did.
Yeah, the sloppy joe, that was fun.
did any of you watch Granny Karma?
Uh-uh.
I think I've watched a couple
She
videos.
does. Yeah. Well, her freezer broke down. Something hit the switch and turned her freezer off. She threw away thousands and thousands of dollars worth of meat. And I mean, she was like in tears doing the video. You know, it was garbage bag after garbage bag.
Nope,
And she
not
said,
here.
if I just canned it, you know, I've been meaning to can it. And yeah, but I've been out there working in the garden and, you know, she had, you know, she's a homesteader. And so she didn't get around to it.
Last Thanksgiving, after Thanksgiving, they had the spiral ham, smoked hams on sale. I bought the whole ham, brought it home, cut all the meat off the bone, and I canned it. I canned smoked ham. I got a whole ham downstairs, and I took the bone and I made ham and bean soup, and then I canned that. You know, it's like, and I got all that downstairs. But I can pork tenderloins, I can hamburger patties, sausage patties, I can. If I can fit it in the jar, I can it. I can it. I can it. I don't care. I can everything.
You're gonna be that way, tribe. You
My dad,
are seriously gonna start seeing things and measuring out and going, "Oh yeah, it'll fit in the jar."
My father makes a real good homemade Brunswick stew, like homemade. The entire thing is homemade Brunswick stew. I can that up. Got a whole bunch of it downstairs canned up. I love Brunswick stew, but like he does catfish stew. I can that. He does chicken stew. I can that. He does salmon stew. Y'all ever had that? Man, you want to talk about some good stuff? Salmon stew. Oh, it is so good. I don't even know what he puts in it. I gotta learn it, but it's delicious. Over rice and that. I can everything. I don't care. If I eat it, I'm a can it.
I was on the fence on whether to do a seafood chowder or the salmon chowder. Because I already have the salmon canned, so I was thinking that it would just all break up inside the stew because it's already been canned once, and then you got to can it for another 100 minutes. So that's why I decided I was just going to do the entire seafood chowder without salmon and keep my salmon cakes later.
I'm doing salmon steak. I'm just gonna get the whole salmon fillet and do it myself. It ain't been pressure canned. You know, it'll be a fresh salmon and do it. Yeah, Monique, all your meats need to be pressure canned.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did want to say thank you, man, to everybody too. Milkmaid, who was it that was helping? The True American, Loretta, Ghost, everybody on the panel, everybody asking questions in the chat. I just want to thank all y'all.
I'm excited to see how excited you are.
Right? Yeah, it's fun watching new people like people who've never done it before. And the first time you should have seen Dusty's grin, man.
Oh, right.
I watched some of that.
Where is that video? I want to see that.
Well, here's the thing. Like the main reason why I started doing this is I was on a live stream with somebody, and I kept saying, "Hang on, I'll be right back." And I'd run into the kitchen. I was checking my jiggler, and they're like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm canning chicken." They're like, "What?" I'm like, "I'm canning chicken." They're like, "You're canning food right now while you're on live stream." I'm like, "Yeah." And then I don't know, we just got to talk, and I'm like, "Well, screw it. I'm just going to just can live." And I think I was talking to you about it, Tribe, before I did it. I'm like, "I'm just going to do a live canning stream." And then Milkmaid and everybody in Virginia joined in, and it's like, here's the thing, like. I'm not making up content to do a live stream. I'm like, what I'm gonna do a live stream? I'm gonna learn how to can to do a live stream. I'm gonna do this shit anyway. All I'm doing is turning the camera on. You know what I mean? It's like I'm not making anything up. This is what I normally do. But normally I would be in my kitchen, bored as shit by myself. All this stuff. I'm like, why don't we just everybody can together? You know, because if you're in your kitchen for 3 hours canning something, that's boring as hell. You got to run back and forth to the TV, find something to do to keep yourself occupied while you're waiting on it to come up with pressure. But if everybody just does it together, nobody's bored, swapping war stories, and it's kind of fun.
Yeah.
I agree.
You should label them what you're canning, like every video, or put it in the thumbnail. That way, people could like. If
Oh
I go
yeah.
to can meat and y'all have already done it, I can just go to your video and play it the whole time while I'm canning, because it'd be like
Right.
hanging out with y'all, even though it is live. You know what I
Right.
mean? But people would want to see what video is what, though. You know what I mean?
Right. What I think I'm gonna do, like with this channel, is like I'm gonna run all the live streams on it and label them what they are. But I think I'm also gonna do some separate videos. Like I'm gonna do a video of just doing a little batch of ghee. I'll do a video of like say what we're canning tonight, potatoes. I'm gonna do a separate video on how to can potatoes, but it'll be compressed into like 10, 15, 20 minutes. So if somebody just wants to watch the video and learn how to do it, they can, versus having to scroll through a 3 hour live stream. The live stream pretty much is like for us on a hangout. But like I would not watch a live stream to learn how to do something, because I would go nuts trying to scroll through and find it, because most people ain't got that kind of patience. You know what I mean?
Right.
Put a little video up there, like a little 15-minute video on how to make ghee real quick, and then do those two as well. But the lives will help. Initially, I'm hoping they'll help to just get the watch hour times up there too. So I want to get my damn community tab. I was telling everybody, my favorite whole thing about YouTube, my whole favorite thing is the community tab. I love that button.
I love it too, man. I use
That's
it
my
every day.
favorite thing. That's my favorite thing, and it's driving me nuts because I don't have one on this channel. I got it on the prepping channel, but I don't have one on this channel. It's driving me nuts because I can't post, polls on what we're going to can. I can't keep everybody updated. It's pissing me off. I want to get that 1,000 subs and get my community tab. I don't care about getting monetized. I want my tab.
Right.
Like, man, I want my tab. I miss my tab. Hey, there's Hutch. What's going on, Hutch?
What up, Hutch?
Hey, Hutch. That's my brother right there.
So let's see your channel. Oh, you need a lot more subscribers. What?
Yeah, we need
to get monetized.
To get the community tab, it's the same as it's the same benchmarks you got to hit to get monetized. You got to have 1,000 subs, and I think the 4,000 watch hours. Then you can use the tab.
Do you really? I'm never gonna get a community tab then.
We'll
get now that I found your link, I've been going over and watching yours. And Ghost, I binge watched all your canning videos that you did like this with the groups.
Yeah,
so,
I put them all.
I think the longest was like almost 8 hours.
I got like 30 hours of them up there now.
Yeah.
Like I made a playlist. I made a canning live stream playlist. So if anybody wants to hook a brother up with watch hours, just hit go on the playlist and turn the volume. Don't mute it. Mute it doesn't count. Just turn it down real low and take a nap. My voice, my soothing voice will soothe you to sleep at night with the streams. I put them all in a.
That's what I did. That's what I did. I binge watched, and I think I got through like the first 2 that were 3 hours long.
I just said I wanted
to. Last weekend we were on for 3.5 hours. Yeah. Just a little bit over 3.5 hours. So anyway, when I woke up, the next video was playing, and I don't know how many I missed before that. So I went back and I watched those the next day. So I have watched all the canning videos.
That's the way to prep food.
I think I've got like 7. This will be number 8, I believe.
I think so.
What?
But they average about 3 to 5.5 hours.
Yeah.
Some
Cherokee,
of them are only a couple hours.
Yeah, Cherokee. I don't do Facebook. Facebook is the devil. I just won't do Facebook.
Here.
I ain't got time. I do YouTube. I don't do what's that other thing? Discord. I don't even know how to do Discord. I'm just now figuring out YouTube. The last thing I want to do is spread myself over to another platform that I don't understand. I'm just like, I'm still figuring this thing out. But if somebody else wants to share it out, share it all you want. I don't care. I just don't.
Hey,
I don't do.
I got my tech guy, and he was irritated tonight because he had to come help me to get on. And yes, I did have a CAT scan, and yes, I did have another stroke. So if I'm, that's why it's getting to be like a normal thing.
What, like mini strokes?
Yeah, TIAs. Yes, it's like 7 or 8 that I've had. They started when I was 20.
Transient ischemic attack, is that correct?
Yep.
Yeah, that's not fun.
Yeah, especially when you keep smoking.
And make sure this is how you take the lid off, okay?
Yeah.
Watch closely.
Can't hear you, Ghost.
Got you.
Yeah, that way you don't burn yourself.
Awesome. Man, I want one of those, man.
Oh, I'm not gonna lie, Tribe. They're like a tank.
Yeah.
But at this, look at that. You'll see little
No
bubbles.
hurry.
Yeah.
Those are pretty potatoes.
Why, thank you.
You got some pretty taters there, Ghost.
So did yours already come down to 0, Tribe?
Mine's sitting at 4 right now. The pressure is at 4.
Not much longer.
Yeah.
But once it comes down to 0, you can take it off.
Yeah, just
Okay, I took my jiggler off.
Huh?
I took my jiggler off just now.
Oh, there you go. Yeah,
Is that
my
Susanna or Virginia?
What's that?
Was that Susanna or Virginia?
This is Virginia. Susanna's not back yet. Yeah, I'm hoping that she comes back, but
yeah.
Oh, also, Tribe, you'll notice this. I only did 6 jars, but so to do 6, but you want to keep the layer full, right? So I only did 6 jars. Full of water.
I think you meant to make yourself large screen, Ghost. Oh, okay. Not that we don't love you.
Tribe and Neecy will work it.
But like, okay, I only had enough potatoes for 6 jars. So the 7th jar in that layer, I just filled it with water. Or you could can something else that would work in that time frame. But there really isn't anything else other than taters that I know of that you can do for 40 minutes. But like if I was doing like meat and I was going for an hour and a half and I only had enough meat to do 6 jars, then my 7th jar, I'd probably do like beans or something that processes for the same time limit, or just fill it with water because you want to have a full layer so the jars don't jiggle around and break.
Got you.
That's the kind of jiggle we don't want.
And you also have the benefit of having a jar of sterile water.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's such good info though. Like I didn't even think about that. You know what I mean? Like,
and then Jess at Keto Homestead, you know what she does with that extra jar? She fills it with water and she puts gauze pads in there, and she makes sterilized gauze pads for her medical kit.
Really?
So got a jar of sterile water that you can drink or you can use to clean something, and it's got a sterile gauze pad in there for like medical stuff.
Yep.
Wow, that's a good idea.
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
It is.
Oh man, that just made me think. You know the old time movies where a woman's having a baby and they're like, boil some water.
Yep.
Well, then you already
Right?
stick some rags in a jar.
You got it.
If somebody got cut, you know, I'm saying if it's SHTF, somebody got cut and you're trying to clean the wound, you know, and the water's not working, well, you got sterilized water. I mean, you can pop the lid and you can clean the wound. You can do whatever you need to do with it. You can drink it, whatever you want. It's pure, clean, sterilized water.
Yeah.
It has already sitting in there and everything. You just pull it out.
Yeah.
Can I show you guys something? Let me show you something.
Yeah, Jess has a lot of really unique canning ideas, man. She comes up with some wild stuff.
Yeah, and they're really good.
Man. She be homestead.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like she cans cream cheese. I don't even know how to do that.
Wow.
Yeah, I haven't tried that yet. Mostly because I save my canning for meat for the most part.
Yeah, I mean, I've watched people make cakes in canning jars. Like they make the cake batter and everything, put it in the jar, and it cooks during the canning process. They literally have a cake in a mason jar.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, you know, the thing about that is that's one of those things that they like really super frown on you doing. But yet there's a cupcake company in Boston called Wicked Good Cupcakes, and they're cupcakes in a jar. And if you buy them online, you only get 6 cupcakes for like $58.
Like
shit.
It's like they tell you you can't can milk. Well, if you can't can milk, if you can't safely can milk, then why in the hell can you buy it in the grocery store can? I don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Well, this is the cool thing I want to show y'all. I bought this for my niece, okay? And it was her birthday. It's, you know, to drink alcohol. You know, you do the little valve thing, you know, and you hit off.
Can you big screen that, Ghost? Can you big screen that?
Yeah, hang on.
Okay, so it's all hand-blown glass, and it's got the little valve so that you can drink alcohol. It holds 250 milliliters. Okay, well,
right.
I had kind of joked about her drinking, that she drinks too much. And so I felt bad about buying this for her, so I decided to keep it. And then I found fish tank tubing that fit on the end here. And then my husband takes injections, so I have needles. So I've got a whole IV set up here.
Wow.
Oh.
And I got this at that place I go to, that Casboys, and this only cost me $1.
What?
Yep. It's beautiful. I mean, they had them bigger, but this was the medium-sized one. And I've been looking up how to make IV fluid and stuff. And so I keep everything in this box here. And I even found a package of surgical gowns.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I've got a whole setup here. Set up my own hospital if I had to. And I used to be a nurse, so it wasn't too hard to try to figure it out.
With it being glass, you realize it. And
I have a really cool doctor too, you know, because he knows I'm a prepper, and I'll say, you know, hey, you know, can you hook me up with, you know, albuterol or a breathing machine thing, whatever the hell. I'm having brain farts.
Nebulizer.
Yeah, nebulizer. Thank you. He'll say, well, do you need it for yourself or your preps? And I was like, does it matter? My insurance pays for it. And he says, here you go. Go to the medical supply store, you know. And so I asked him about IV tubing and stuff. And so he gave me stuff to make hep locks, you know, like what they would give you in a hospital, that I can attach this to this bottle that I bought. And so I'm really happy about that. So I'm going to ask him about maybe just getting me at least 2 bags. Tell him that, you know, I've got a family member that's end of life, and, you know, I need to have that I'm going to be doing the hospice care at home, and set me up with like hospice care supply stuff that I can put in my stockpile. So I've got pretty good doctors that do stuff like that. But
I do too. It's amazing. If they really, like, my doctor actually follows my YouTube channel, so he knows for sure that I really do prep and everything. So anything I ask, he pretty much does. I mean, I don't ask too much, but he gives me extra medicine to make sure that I got it for later. Everything. He's really cool.
Yeah.
That's
See,
awesome.
I did that with like my blood pressure pills. I told him, I said, you know, late afternoon, my blood pressure starts going up. And he's like, well, it's fine. You know, we'll just up you to 2 a day. So every month I take 30 of them. I put them away. So I've got thousands of lisinopril. Same thing with, you know, my pain medication. I get 90 a month, but I only take 60. So 30 of them I put aside every month. And so I've got a nice stockpile of pain medication, you know. And same thing with my Xanax, you know, all my hardcore medicines, you know, my narcotic stuff. But yeah, I mean, it's good when you got a doctor that'll work with you, you know.
As long as they trust you and you tell them the truth and you never lie to them. Like my doctor said, I'm one of his most trusted patients. Yeah. You know, because I'm always honest. You know, no matter what it is, I tell the truth. I ain't trying to hide nothing. It's like, look, this is who I am.
Yeah. Well, see, I got really upset with my shrink I go to, because I went there to get my refill, and she's like, we just refilled you. You're not due for another month. And I'm like, no, I'm not. It's time to be filled now. So we get into this big fight. And she says, well, you've got 2 scripts that you didn't even pick up. Well, when I leave there, I have my script in my hand. But her sister had accidentally faxed the scripts to the pharmacy. So, of course, pharmacy threw them out because I go straight from her office to my pharmacy. And so she knew it was a mistake. She threw them out. So she did call the doctor and she said, it was your mistake. So give her scripts because she's actually 2 weeks behind on filling her script. So she said, well, how are you going that long without taking it? You've been on it since 2001. You would have been going through withdrawal. And I said, I told you before, I don't take 3 milligrams a day. I take 2, but I don't want to cut down to where you're only prescribing me 2, because there are some days where my stress level is so high that I do have to have that 3rd one. And she says, oh, okay. And she goes, and I'm sorry about the mistake. It was my fault. I was like, okay, cool.
I'm having hell with my pharmacies, the CVS and Walgreens. I think they're harassing me on purpose.
Oh, they most definitely are.
Here we go. Dun, dun, dun.
Oh, shit, Roots. Oh, shit, Roots.
Okay, here we go.
Get it, get it.
See what I did.
Chill.
Woohoo!
We popping tops around this joint.
Oh, where you start hearing them pings, man. You're going to love it.
Let's get a close-up, Roots. Let's get a close-up on one of them jars.
Usually always goes the last one. All of mine have already sealed. All 6 of mine have popped. Ooh, look at that.
Man, that look good.
That's pretty.
Shit. Shit.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Shit. Might have to eat that tomorrow.
Uh-oh.
It'll be all right.
Not one of them, but we'll see.
It'll be all right. It's still cooking. It'll be all right. It'll still seal.
Okay.
Look at her.
So here is my coffee cake. It's already been torn into by
Nice.
my son. And then this is the potato, corn, green bean. This squash, it will actually settle. I've done squash and zucchini in the past, and this will settle out. It won't have so much liquid. It's all kind of floating at the top right now. But the corn, potato, green bean ones look freaking amazing.
Yeah, they
like
do.
those look so good. So
awesome.
Look good.
Yep.
Yeah, it does. Hey, I know one thing I really want to do, and I have never canned it before. I want to can meatloaf.
Northern Girl had an awesome video on that.
Yeah. Now here's what you guys make. The next time you go to the store, find these, get them. All right. These are called 1.5-pint jars, and if you notice, they're completely round, the same size. Like the opening is the same size as the jar. This is the ones that you make meatloaf in, because you can just turn it upside down and shake it, and the whole log of meatloaf just slides right out. So there's no shoulders on it, if you can find them.
Yeah, I haven't seen those.
Yeah, they're hard to find. I've had these for a couple of years, but don't them sausages look good, boy?
Yeah, they do.
They did have a case of square jars, and they were like it said something like for sharing or something, but they were like fancy ball jars, but they were squared up.
Yeah, they did. They make a bunch of fancy. Well, you can even get them in weird colors and stuff for like your jelly.
Blue.
Yeah.
Now how does canning the meatloaf change the texture?
I've never done it. I don't know, but I mean, from what I've heard from the people I've talked to, you can't tell the difference. They're like, man, it's delicious.
So you want to do that? You want to do that next time?
It is good, but you can't put breadcrumbs in it.
Like, we could do it in regular, quart jars or pint jars if y'all want to, but you just got to be digging it out, unless you have the round jars where you can just, slide it out. But we could do meatloaf. We could do whatever. I don't care.
Damn. The roots drop off.
Yeah, I'll watch. I'll dig around and watch meatloaf videos, and then I'll post the video with the recipe. I'll do a link and I'll share it on the channel so everybody can watch how to do it, and then we'll just come together and do it together. But I'm pretty
Start
sure
start with Paradise by the Dashboard Light.
Little stuff.
that, and I think Gilbrook Farms actually did a pretty good meatloaf video, and I love her stuff. Like I love Gilbrook Farms. Their videos are just awesome. I love their house, and like when they were first building their house, I was like, man, that's gonna be ugly. Now, like it's like, man, that's a badass house. It's
They've
looking
been
really
at
nice.
it
Yeah,
for
they
a
put a lot of
long
work into
time.
that place. Yeah, they've been working on it for what, like 2 years now.
Still at one.
I mean, I was following them back when they lived at the other house
Me too.
before
I've
they
been
bought
following
their
them way
property.
back. Yeah, I was following them way back. Remember when their neighbors ratted them out, and then they had to move, or their neighbors ratted them out with the animals and all that stuff. They were
Yeah,
having issues. They were having neighbor issues. Yeah, that was way back.
that's why I hate HOAs. If
Yeah, I
there's
don't
an
do
HOA,
HOAs.
I won't buy.
I don't do HOAs.
Is
Period.
that the lady with dark hair? She was out like in the mountains or something.
Yeah, they're in the mountains now. They're in the mountains of North Carolina now. It's
You
her
got
and her
your hair
husband.
sometimes.
Yeah, he used to have long hair. He chopped it all off. He used to have like
Yeah.
wicked long hair, and he chopped it all off. But she's got like the sleeve tattoos. She's like,
Hers.
her tattoos are banging, but she
I haven't seen
can.
no videos from her in a while.
Well, they've been doing they've been building the house. Everything's been pretty much focused on the house, and they're doing like the complete house build and all that stuff. But she's got like a video series on canning, like her canning 101 video. It's like probably one of the best I've ever seen. Yeah, it's like that's the first canning video I ever watched. But I'm like, that is a good. I mean, she tells you everything about the the reason I got All American 921 is because that's what she uses. I'm like, yep, that's what I'm getting. But like her detail, she's like hardcore into the details and hardcore into safety. She does like everything by the book, by the Ball Canning book, or by the Center for Home Food Preservation. She's like really, really detailed. Her videos are awesome. She does storage videos, long-term food prep videos, and a whole bunch of canning videos. Her ham and bean soup video is awesome. She's the one that got me hooked on making the bone broth and all that good stuff. That's why it's hard to do a live canning stream of chicken, because when I put up chicken, and I put up like 30, 40 pounds of chicken, and I put up like 2 cases of bone broth, and it takes like 6 hours to make the bone broth. So it's like that's like a start at 10 in the morning, finish at midnight kind of video, or a 2-day live stream. Of doing the chicken first, and the broth and cooking it, and then doing the bone broth later.
Where you at, Tribe?
We're sitting at 0, but the popper thing is still up.
Yeah, you got to wait on that bad boy.
It'll go down real fast.
Yeah, see, it's great because Alley Cat has the same kind of canner as you do.
Yeah.
See, I love it when people
I call it my welfare canner. That's all I can afford.
Hey, they can.
Yeah, whatever works, right?
It's a great beginner's canner. Now, see, I watch everybody with those All-Americans, and those things terrify the hell out of me.
Yeah, when me and Neecy first hooked up, this was 13 years ago. I told her I wanted a canner real bad. We were just talking, and for my first birthday that she knew me, she lived in South Carolina. I'm in Maryland. She comes all the way up to Maryland, and she's like, I got you something for your birthday. And boom, she brought me this canner. So, and I never even, I think I opened it to look inside because the instructions were gone. So I must have looked inside, but I never used it.
Now it's been blessed.
There you go.
Yes, indeed.
It's no longer a virgin. You popped its cherry.
Right.
Christened it on Ghost's christening.
That's why his canner works so good. It's well aged. It's been sitting on the shelf, getting a little age to it. So it's not a brand new canner.
Like a fine wine.
It's kind of like Virginia's canner. I mean, that thing was made in 1920. What was it? 24 milkmaid, or was it 29?
24, 27, something.
That's how old that canner is.
That's insane.
Dude, she found it at a yard sale. Put it together. It broke while we were live. She went black. She's like, I'll be back in a minute. I got to fix this. I'm thinking, call 911. We're freaking out.
Right.
I remember
puts it back together, and canned, and still, I think she still beat me on that stream too.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute.
She's
I beat her tonight, didn't I?
The garage doing it.
You did. Finally beat her.
And like this ghost, you gotta go like this.
I know, right? She's not here. I can't rub it in.
Hey, I even beat you.
Hey.
But I had to start last night.
But see, that's the thing. Like,
1927. 1927 is when that cake was made.
1927. Okay.
Can you imagine what that's worth? I mean, that's an antique.
Right.
It'd be interesting.
Absolutely.
I mean, that may be something you may want to insure.
And there was a canner at my local thrift store, and this is no lie. This is how unlucky I am. So they had a canner like Virginia Roots. I talked to Ghost, talked to the people on the panel. They was like, "You need to go get that. You need to go get that." 2 days later, the place burnt down.
I bet the canner was still there under that rubble.
I bet it was too.
I remember because I was dogging you about it. I was like, "Did you go get the canner?" You're like,
Real.
"No lie, it burnt down."
The only thing that survived the fire was this canner.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I found mine on Craigslist.
Nice. I got
We
lucky.
just
I got mine.
Estate sale, so we'll probably find one.
Like right now, that canner that I have, if you can find it right now, it's about $350.
Yeah,
I
they're
got it.
expensive.
When I got it, I paid right at $200 for it. But that was the canner. That was all the canning supplies that came with it. You know, I got the lifters and all that stuff. I got the whole kit when I got it. So I paid a little over $200.
I bet it's gonna be 600 come a couple months from now with all these prices and all this crazy stuff going on.
I'm rich.
It's nice because now I can talk to normal people and they're talking about inflation. And I'm like, yeah, right?
Yeah. Well,
That's
think about how much it's going to take for, since I got the biggest one, how much it actually takes to fill it. I could do 7 quart jars on the bottom and then 7 more on the second round. So if I just did pints, I could probably do about 20 something.
Wow.
Yeah, I think
Probably.
Yeah, that's
the
true.
big man. That's a big ass canner. That's like serious.
That's why it scared me, man. Because when I started hitting it with that hammer, and Backwoods was like, "Don't do it, just don't do it." And I'm like, "Tap."
Hey, look, when I did my first time, I did the same thing. That's why I told you I started laughing. I said, "Go get some hammers," because that's what I did. I just hit both the handles and popped right loose. Yeah, pop right loose. It wasn't no big deal. I mean, it's cast aluminum. You ain't gonna hurt it.
That was the first time ever using it too. Yeah, it's fine.
Oh yeah, you ain't gonna hurt it, dude. That thing's put together like a torpedo launch tube on a submarine.
I mean, he could probably can half a cow in one session.
Yeah. I'm probably gonna get another canner. I'm probably gonna get a Presto just to have just to have a backup. I'd like to get another All American, but they're expensive, and I know I can get a Presto for like $80. But I might just so I can get another one, just so I can can 2 loads at a time. You know what I mean? And it like speeds up the process, especially when I'm doing something like 30 pounds of stick in or something like that.
162.
I think I paid about $400 for mine, and that was like 3 years ago, though.
That's about
Presto
right.
has a electric canner now.
Yeah, I've seen those. I don't know.
Checking them out.
I'm used to the All American. I know how it works. I like the way it works. I like the fact that there ain't no moving parts. I don't have to replace the seal.
23 quarters.
There's no gaskets. It's metal on metal. You know what I mean? It's like, I mean, the only thing that could possibly break on it is the gauge, and I don't use it anyway. I use the jiggler. So I mean, as long as you keep it clean, and the thing's gonna be here. Look at Roots. It was made in 1927. That thing's still kicking ass. I mean, as long as you take care of it.
93 years old.
Yeah. Nice. Well, yeah.
That's like ancient. I mean, you can't hurt those things, man. I mean, you like legit, like, I mean, they're 1/2 inch thick, cast aluminum. I mean, they're hardcore.
Yeah.
metal on metal seals. Yeah. That's why I like it. I don't have to worry about backup seals or, rubber gaskets, none of that. It's metal on metal. They're just a gauge that you got to worry about. But if it breaks, so what? You got the jiggler, rock and roll.
Right.
Yeah, I did think of that, and I bought back. Well, actually, I stumbled on the seals for the Presto. So I grabbed up the boxes. I found of those, and they wanted 10 cents a piece for them.
Wow.
And then I got thinking about it, and I was like, because of that handle, the way it's loose, and I have to keep tightening it down. I did go ahead and I bought myself a backup gauge and the.
Go get you a little tube. Go to the auto parts store and get you a little squeeze tube. It's called Loctite. It's red.
Okay.
It's called Loctite, and you just dab a little bit of that on the threads, and then screw it in, and it won't come loose anymore. It ain't like super glue. You can still unscrew it, but it's for loose fitting screws where they're not loose anymore.
I need
Okay.
to get some of that. I think
Called
we might
Loctite.
have some somewhere.
Lock type. Loctite.
I'm sure I've got some around here somewhere. I've got every kind of glue there is.
You can do that, or you can literally just take a toothpick, shove it in the hole, and then screw the screw in.
Okay. I'll try the Loctite first.
It's a simple redneck fix, but it works really, really good. You just take a toothpick, stick it in there with the screw at the same time, and screw it in.
I'm a firm believer in redneck fixes. They look great.
Chad.
Yep.
What are those?
I don't know. What is it?
It says
I know what that's for.
silicone canning rings. I just picked them up just in case, but they're like.
I got a package of those too, and I have no idea what they're for or how you use them.
Hold on. They're for weck jars.
Okay, I have 4 weck jars that have the lids, and I have 1 weck jar that doesn't have a lid.
I want to say they're for the weck. No, wait. The weck jars are just glass and glass, right?
I have no clue.
It has a rubber seal, the weck jar.
Okay.
So you might be right about that.
There's like an
the
old
metal ring off, and it replaces the metal ring.
Here you go. This is what Virginia Roots canner says. All American number 0007. What that means, Virginia Roots, is that's the 7th canner that they ever made. You've got like the number 7th canner off the production line. I'm guessing. It's like
That's insane, man.
Yeah, 1927. I would love to be able to know how many households that canner's been in and how many loads of stuff it's been canned. You know what I mean? From 27, that's like
stories behind that thing.
What states it's been in, how many different families, how many different people have canned with it. That'd be crazy.
Yeah, it went through the Great Depression.
Oh, you got
I
them
think
too?
these that you're talking about?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Sure.
Okay.
For these types of jars. You've seen these?
Got you.
See that?
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Good. See, we both learned something.
Like my
This
rice
is
jar.
A Fido jar. I think they might be canning jars. I've never used them for that. I've just used them for storing things in. But I never buy them full price. Like I find them at yard sales and stores
Yeah,
and
that's
stuff.
what.
This is like $5-8 or something like that. So I pick them up for $1 or 50 cents if I find them. But I think that's what that's for.
Oh,
my rice.
Yeah.
My rice
Yeah.
jar.
Okay, yeah. That makes sense.
Yep, sure does. Milkmaid's so smart.
Okay, you've earned your smarts back.
I'm just a nerd.
We all are.
All right.
I'm actually a very smart person, but I have no memory lately. Like, Ghost told me what his name was, and as soon as I hung up with him, forgot it. I mean, just that fast.
It's no big deal. I didn't tell you my real name anyway.
So,
Probably
so
didn't.
we can all tell you our secrets, and you'll never say anything. Trust
Right.
Well, you know mine. I'm a liberal.
Oh, Alley Cat. One time at band camp,
I got a lot of
Don't go there.
Hey, I'll be honest. I've got friends all across the political spectrum. I mean, I even have a couple of friends who are hard lefties at this point. They used to not be, but now they are. You know,
I'm kind of like,
around.
yeah, you know, I just it's the whole name calling stuff that it just like.
Oh yeah.
How old are we now? You know, come on. You know, what is it? Knee pads and potty pads. I mean,
Knee pads.
You know, come on.
Oh well, you know.
I mean, it's cute if you're 5 years old. You know, the word though.
Hey, Tribe, where's your canner at? Well, I know it's on the stove. Is it at 0?
Oh, it's at 0, but the pop thing's still up.
It's okay. We ain't in a hurry. We'll hang out with you. We ain't in a hurry. Where'd Virginia go?
Should I push it down?
No. Move the canner from that burner over to a pole burner.
Oh, it just dropped. Y'all hear it?
You're done. You're done.
The first time I got a tattoo, they slap it and tell you, "Oh, we have to sit to eat."
Oh.
Okay, everybody, this is history. We are seeing history right here.
Lift it away from your face.
All right, so I can take the gibbler thing off.
Yep. Take the jiggler off.
And now I can open it up.
Now turn it and then lift it away from your face. So the steam's going to blow towards your fan there in the back.
Got you. Let me see if I can spin this thing a little bit. Uh-oh.
There you go. You're done.
Dun, dun, dun.
Oh, I can't wait to see this.
Now, Tribe, put a towel down or something. You don't want to put it on a cold counter. It'll crack your jars.
Yeah, we got a towel.
Okay.
I'll show you real quick.
Let me guess. You guys read through that entire manual, didn't you?
I said it at the beginning. And I think I said it at the beginning.
Yeah.
When I get that long intro. See, I was wasting all kind of time waiting on Milkman and Susanna to get here. What?
It's bubbling like crazy.
It's
okay. Oh, yeah, it'll be bubbling for hours. Mine are still bubbling.
Oh, look at that.
You just canned your first can.
Look at there.
Yeah.
All you gotta do is drain them out, a little bit of milk, a little bit of butter, and you got some mashed taters, my friend.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Those look awesome.
Can you
very good
on your so we can show with the light on? Turn the light on.
Yeah, you gotta take a picture. Say cheese.
Oh, look there. Say cheese.
Can you see the bubbles?
There you go.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's gonna be doing that for hours.
Oh,
Isn't that cool?
Yeah, it's gonna be doing that bubbling for hours.
Now they're pinging.
That first ping's going to startle you.
Oh,
one of mine popped before I got it out of the scanner.
Oh, you taking pictures? Neecy taking pictures.
Neecy, you gotta send them.
It's like birthing a baby.
I know. Right? We're all proud mommy and daddies. It's a potato. It's a Biden.
All right, last one. Boom.
Nice.
Okay, you got to name that first jar Biden.
And now it begins.
You got to give Native a hard time.
Just giving you a hard time.
Beat him.
How much water you got left in there, Tribe?
I'm gonna show you if it'll. I would say about 2 inches at least.
Yeah,
you did good. You did good. Yeah, no siphoning. Look at there. Look how clear that water is. No siphoning at all.
Nice.
And then jar.
Look at there. And now you don't want to touch them, move them, or anything for 24 hours.
All right.
Yeah. And then you can take off the rings.
Yep. Then you wash them and put them away. Label them and Stick them somewhere nice and dark.
Nice.
And we can reuse the rings.
Yeah, the rings you can use over and over and over and over again. But you want to make sure they're not dented or bent. If they're dented or bent, throw them away because they'll put uneven pressure on the lid, especially around the top edge.
Gotcha.
I'll show you what I mean.
I throw them all in.
Congratulations, Tribe.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, dog.
He is now one of the elites.
Yes, indeed.
Now you're a prepper.
Animal.
On your rings there, around the top edge, if you got any kind of dents around the top edge and around the top here, throw them away. Because what that'll do, if you got a dent on this side, it'll put uneven pressure on the lid, and it'll make it to where the seal's weak.
Got you.
I've got a box downstairs that I bought a Christmas tree in like 3 years ago. You know how big those boxes are, right? It's completely full of these things. And I got like 2 more boxes full of these things.
You can that much, huh?
I got rings for days. Yeah.
That's called hoarding.
Yeah.
I let the toddlers.
Who's the handicrafter in the group? Let's have him send the rings to them. They can make something out of them.
A fish tank or something. The bubble.
That's aluminum. That's a precious metal. I'll melt that shit down and make something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got at least 2 drawers full at this point. Like, you know, those plastic drawer things that you can buy?
Yeah.
The drawers that are about 12 inches high. I've got 2 of them.
Well, the box that I have them in downstairs, it's probably,
how does that work?
1 foot high.
You would think the
3
water
foot deep, and about 5 foot long. It's completely flat, full, and I got 2 more boxes full of it. And I got enough to fill up those totes at Walmart. I can fill up probably 4 of those totes, like completely full. And I got a bag full of them up here, that I just throw them in before I take them downstairs.
Sally said it, and then you said something about it. Let me tell you something real quick. My local dollar store, I stopped in today, and didn't have any of those tote baskets. For, instead of losing a buggy, they got them little plastic tote baskets. Hey, why don't you have any of those baskets? People are stealing them to make crab traps with.
Are you serious? Oh, wow.
Rob, what you doing? You thinking about sticking something else in that canner, ain't you? You're like, man, what can I put in? He's like, man, I ain't even tired. He's like, dude, come on.
All nighter, sweetie.
That is awesome.
I'm hearing little, them little knocks, them little knock.
Yeah.
That's the best sound.
Yep. Okay, everybody together, sing the song. It don't mean a thing if you don't hear that pain.
I
got a new audience here. I couldn't resist.
That is awesome.
These bad boys are ready to eat like tomorrow.
Hey,
I'll probably eat something tomorrow too.
Ghost.
What?
I want to try.
You popped a double cherry.
I did?
We don't want.
Neither of them have canned before. That's 2.
I thought Neecy had canned before.
Neecy,
No.
have you canned?
No.
What?
Nah, we both rookies.
Holy, I got 2 cherries. That's a 3-way.
Oh, it's bad.
Hey, you want to make him up some canning with Go shirts and send it to tribes?
Is that right?
And me and Todd got a deal worked out with my husband and his wife. So
Actually, I was talking to a milkmaid about it. I think, or was it you, Milk, or was it Roots I was talking to? I think I'm going to just go ahead and build my own screen print and just make my own stuff. That way I can do custom.
Oh, yeah, you did say something about
That way I can do custom stuff for other people. I think I'm just going to make my own. I mean, it ain't that hard. I already researched it. It ain't that expensive. I mean, and that way all I got to do is just come up with a design, or somebody can come up with a design and just send it to me, and I can just make one shirt. I mean, that way I can sell them like really, really cheap. You know what I mean?
Right.
Still make enough profit to where it's worth doing it. Plus, what I was thinking about doing is because my parents both live with me. I was thinking about, like do a little side T-shirt business, employ them to do it, and give them something to do during that time. Making shirts.
There you go.
I'm telling you, if you did T-shirts that said Canimals on it with a canning jar, anybody who cans would buy them.
Well, I'm trying to come up with a design. I'm not an artist, so I got to find somebody that's artistic because I already know what I want for the Canimals. I want like an all-American breakfast canner, but I want it to be done up like the Tasmanian Devil. Remember that cartoon from the years ago?
Yep.
Where it's like the canning. It's like an all-American canner, but it's got arms and legs and a mouth and eyes, and it's like like he's a cannibal, like a canner animal, and do make an actual one-off type logo and do the cannibal thing. But that way, I figure, I can just make my own shirts. That way, I ain't got to do the Teespring thing. Even though Teespring's like really, really easy. But I'm going, man, I would rather just because that way I can just do whatever I want. If I have an idea, all I got to do is go on the computer, print it out, and just go make the screen and make the shirt. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
There's got to be somebody in the community.
I got a brother vinyl cutter. And then I got this heat press machine that actually does plates, coffee cups, T-shirts, and hats.
Oh yeah. And really? I was researching that too to do the hats. You can there's a screen that I can make to do hats like this where they're soft, and I can screen print directly on the hats.
Nice. I'd like to see a canning Ghost Prepper towel.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Now
like dish rags and hat. Maybe a apron, a cannibal apron.
Yep.
There you go.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
With compartments to put all your little, your jigglers.
Aprons would be cool.
So you don't lose them.
And your debuggers and everything's right there at your hand. And
gotta make it tactical, man. Put some on it.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking about doing instead of just doing the Teespring. Because I don't know. Doing little stuff like that, I get off on that. Like little creative, I'll just do it my damn self and do it. It's like when my bow and arrow that natives give me a hard time about doing a video. When he came over to the house to get his rabbits, I was talking about my PVC bow, and he's like, "What?" And I'm like, "It's a PVC bow. I made it out of a PVC pipe." He's like, "What?" I'm like, "Just hang on." So I went and got it. I strung it up and everything. I'm like, "Pull it." He was like, "Holy shit." He's Native American. He knows what a bow is. I'm part Native American. I mean, it's probably about 75 pound pull on a PVC pipe. It's scheduled 40 PVC, but I ran fiberglass driveway markers down the middle before I melted it and flattened it out and shaped it. So it's got fiberglass rods in it. So when you pull, dude, it's a flat out bow, and it's accurate, and it was easy to make. I literally the entire bow. I may have spent $15, and I mean it's strung up with 550 cord. There's nothing fancy on it. It's a badass bow. Like, I'm doing a video. I'm like, all right,
I bet you could JB weld the rest on there, the arrow rest.
Yeah. I took an ink pen and I notched it with my finger and an ink pen. I just heated it up with my heat gun, and I just took the bow and I just pushed it in with one of the arrows, and I made a notch out of the side of the bow. I mean, I was like, man, I'm gonna do this, and I'm a redneck and do it myself and see what happens. I strung it up, went outside and started shooting with it, and bro, it's accurate as it's legit. It'll put you down, And I just got target arrows, but I mean, it'll blow through a bale of hay, no problem. I mean, it ain't got nothing on my crossbow. I mean, that's a 150-pound pull. That'll drop any big game in North America. I mean, it ain't no joke. It's straight out of Walking Dead, my crossbow. But the PVC bow, I saw a video of it, and I'm like, for real? So I went straight to Home Depot the next day, got me some PVC, got me a heat gun, got me some 2x4s, made a jig, and made a bow, and I was like, this shit works really good.
You should do video. Just saying.
Do what?
You should do video. Just saying.
Yeah, I know.
I want to learn how to shoot a bow. Whoa.
All right, I'll do a video on that. Yeah, because Native's been hitting me up. He's like, do the video on the bow. Do the video on the bow. I'm like, all right, when you come to get your rabbits, come get your kids. They're eating out of house and home.
I'm gonna have to teach them how to can one day, man. I'm just saying, y'all never want to learn how to can, y'all can hit me up. You know what I'm saying?
I got you.
You're pro now.
Was that Rage in the Cage that he was just doing? Or Native, what's his name? Who's the other one that's got Native in his name?
Native and Devout.
I know No, it was Native and Devout, but who's the other one? He was just imitating him. Tribe was just imitating him.
I have no clue. Ooh, Cannibal Oven Mitts.
Good Lord, I've got it right.
Animal merch. All right, so I guess we need some merch.
Might need some merch.
Ghost got merch.
Not yet. Working on it.
Oh, you could do some ghost. What do you call them? The gloves
The oven mitts.
or silicone? Yeah.
Yeah, that's what Roots put it in there. I think I went apron and Roots went oven mitts.
I love those ones that you can use all your fingers. They're like oven gloves. They're amazing.
Yeah, those would be neat. Look at Tribe and
a lot of our preps in the background. All them boxes and everything is nothing but preps. Brats.
Wow.
He's got his little mind going on where he's going to can next now.
Uh-huh.
Stacked it to the ceiling.
Yeah, to the rafters, baby. To the rafters, literally.
Oh, you just made me feel so good because that's the way my entire house looks.
I've got
to go down. Go down to the bomb shelter.
I got a couple rooms that yeah, I need to organize because I got the stuff. I just need to organize it better, and I haven't really had the chance. And plus, you walk in there and you just turn around and walk right back out. You're like, nope,
not today.
They're all prepped. That's awesome.
When my son was a baby, from like the time he was a year old and he had just started walking, and he would be playing with toys and they'd be all over his floor, and I'd say, okay, now we're going to teach you how to clean your room, and so he would have like race cars out and all the SpongeBob crap, and everything's out everywhere. So we did first we're going to get all the race cars together. And so he would get all his little race cars together and we would have everything in piles. And then I would give him the bins and he would put the things in the bins. And I'm looking at my house now going, I've got to stop going to Kaz Boys. I've got shit here that I have no freaking idea what it is or why I bought it. But luckily I did buy this. It was it's the camera for the computer. And I'll buy anything that I see that's for a computer, just because I know stuff's expensive. So my son says, damn, Mom, you got a good deal on that. And I said, well, how much does it cost? He said, that's a $60 camera. What'd you pay for it? And I said, I got it on Dollar Day. He said, you only paid $1 for that? You pretty good. And I'm like, okay, well, then I guess I'll just keep hoarding. Look at how I found all the stuff to put an IV together, Yeah. So, but yeah, if I could, let me just give you an example here. This is my living room. This is all stuff that needs to be put away. And then if you can see back there into my dining room.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, I look at the stuff and then it's like, oh God, where do I start? I did get my full canning jars, the stuff that has food in it. I did get that organized, but we moved from a 2,400 square foot house to a 900 and something square foot house.
Mm.
So, there just isn't room. I'm hiding things in trunks and Ghost had, when he was showing his basement, the things that he stores. Did you not mention that you have a temperature control basement?
Yeah, it's a basement.
Okay, because some of my stuff I had put out in my garage. Now, I don't know if you've ever been in Alabama heat, but so now I'm kind of second guessing whether some of this stuff might have gone bad that I've had out there in my garage.
The heat, there's a misconception. It doesn't make it go bad. It shortens the lifespan. Okay?
Well,
It means that it won't last as long.
Well, I had canned squash and zucchini. And when I opened that jar, it smelled like pure vinegar. And I went, it gagged me.
Yeah.
But it was still sealed nice and tight and everything. So, I brought it in. I was going to cook it for dinner. And it was
You got it in the garage. Here's the thing, though. It can do just like when you buy brand new jars. It can seal and unseal and seal and unseal over and over and over again. So that'd be a false seal, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you pointed out like 5 or 6 things tonight, like the thing with the rims. I didn't know about that either.
Pick that up.
Yeah, you don't want to.
I got to go through my lids now, or my whatever the fuck they're called. I had to go through those and check them out.
I'm gonna pull my phone up and I'm gonna show you guys my shelves real quick if I can get it up here.
Got a big old bag of candy soap. I picked up a bunch of stuff back in the day.
There you go.
A couple months ago, but hell yeah.
Is that the pickling salt?
Yeah, yeah. It says for pickling and preserving.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
I'm gonna take you. I'm gonna go big screen. I'm gonna go big screen and show you guys the basics.
Okay.
Okay.
Did you have fun at the wedding?
I did. It was really cute. They had it out on a farm.
Awesome.
It was hot as all get out, though. I tell you what. I brought a sweater, and I was like, "Nope, I'm leaving that in the car."
I hear that.
But yeah, it was a good time. Got to meet some of my husband's coworkers that I hadn't met before.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah. It's always fun. They're a really funny bunch.
Okay, this is my disaster. Okay, here's my shelves, and you can see these things are into the wall. There's 30.
Froze up a little bit, Ghost.
Yeah. Can you hear us, Ghost?
Froze up, brother. Froze up.
I think it's because he went away from his Wi-Fi.
Yep.
It happens sometimes when he goes out to see the rabbits, too.
I have that problem every time I go out to my garage.
I have it walking through my freaking house. It's really annoying. There he is.
Okay, you're back. We lost you there for a second. You froze.
We lost everything, Ghost. We ain't see nothing.
Those look good.
Ah, there we go.
And that's
nice.
the setup right there. Look at that. He built off that. I watched the video.
So how much to get you to come down here and build me some shelving?
You got the skills, man.
Crappy signal.
I love his kitchen.
About my kitchen.
Love your kitchen.
Nice
I had to
bed.
clean my kitchen so that y'all could be in my kitchen. Hey, baby. Hey,
Man,
baby.
I gotta be honest. This is one of the best things I've done on YouTube since I started. Like, no bullshit. Like, this is honestly, I had a great time doing this, and like, it's cool. Now I'm over it. Like, I'm looking at cookies, potato chips, my vitamins. I'm like, can I can this shit? I'm just staring at it. I'm canning toothpicks. You know what I'm saying?
Now that you've done it, do you look back on yourself this morning and go, dude, you had nothing to worry about?
Oh, I'm so disappointed. I could have been doing this for 20 years.
Right?
God.
So. But now you know, and now you.
But see, you know, I look at it this way. You're not a true prepper unless you're canning. So now you are officially, you have earned your title as prepper.
I'm
Even
here.
if you got a generator with solar powered and 18 different hideouts for bugging out, you are now a prepper.
It is awesome.
I can't get over how cute Dusty is.
Like, cool part, the one of the coolest things about it, one of the coolest parts about it is I can, like, say if I come home and I don't feel like cooking, I can just go downstairs and grab this, throw it in a pot, throw it in the microwave, 2 minutes, you know, pulled pork, stew, you know, spaghetti, sandwich, it's already cooked. There ain't no, I mean, heat it up, eat. It's quick, it's easy. You know, spaghetti, just boil your noodles, chili, you know, whatever.
Yeah, I'm watching you on the big screen.
Do what?
Hey, the reason I'm not looking at you is because I'm watching you on the big screen as you're. You know what I mean?
I'm doing the same thing. Do you have a Roku TV?
No, it's one of those smart TVs, one of those government agent TVs. You know?
Yeah, I got one too. I've
Black
actually,
Mirror.
I've actually been keeping track of the chat, watching the big screen TV and watching on this one
Yeah.
on my computer.
Everybody in the chat, I appreciate you. I appreciate you.
Love
Thank
you
you.
too. Congratulations.
Thank you.
We got to do some beef stew or something next week.
I know I'm gonna be joining y'all. Like if y'all will have me, when y'all go canning, I'm coming.
Yeah,
Even if
every Saturday.
I'll be in the background canning like I'm hugged.
I'll send you the link every week. We do it every week.
Well,
And
don't forget me, Ghost.
since you're new, you get to choose. What do you guys want to do next week?
I don't know. Give me the night to think on it.
Okay.
Yeah, think about it.
Those subliminal messages there, Dusty.
I was showing my pickle powder.
Oh, look at that.
Kosher dill pickle powder.
People can do whatever they want. You know what I mean?
I hate pickles. I hate anything with vinegar.
What?
Like you can pretty much can whatever you want. I mean, like if I say we're doing, potatoes, I mean, you can can whatever you want. It ain't that big of a deal. But I always like to put something out like, hey, I'm canning this. That way, you know what I'm saying? Somebody wants to can along, they can. But I mean, you can can whatever you want.
Yeah. Last week we all did the ghee, and then we all did other things too. Like I did cabbage rolls, and she did. You did banana bread, or was that the other girl?
That was Virginia.
Virginia. Yeah, Virginia did banana bread. What was it? Beans? Beans with something in them.
Yeah,
she
she's always
tiled somebody's roof.
Yeah.
Paved a driveway, and she still beat all of us.
Heck yeah. Yeah. She's kind of Wonder Woman.
What would be awesome?
You got 3 hours and 17 minutes on this, Ghost.
Yep.
Yes, sir. I didn't finish canning, but I'll find my jiggler somewhere.
Did you find your jiggler?
Hey, I
No
bet
bag
you
with
vegetable soup would be good. No meat in it. And that wouldn't be that hard because you wouldn't have to do it in 90 minutes or nothing. You could just do vegetable soup.
No, I found a plastic horse in my cabinet with my bowls. I found a pen wrapped up in a blanket like a baby in another drawer. So yeah, I'm pretty sure the toddler grabbed it.
What'd you say, Trav?
Huh?
What'd you say?
I was saying that you could just make vegetable soup, canned vegetable soup with no meat.
Yep.
Yeah.
But you would have to know how to season it. Y'all know how to the right amounts of seasoning or whatever to put in, or do you just let it rock?
Just let it rock. I don't really season a whole lot of stuff because the canning process, how would you word it? Like say if you season stuff and it was on like a level 1, like when you eat it and you season it out at a level 1, when it comes out of the canning process, it's like a 9.5.
Wow.
Like it crazy kicks up like I've canned stuff that I literally couldn't eat. And I seasoned it the way I normally season it, but the canning process, things like I think it's basil and some other sage. You don't ever want to can anything with sage in it. It just is absolutely nuts. Like it completely.
Red pepper
or bay leaves.
Red pepper's good. Because I canned like.
I love red pepper.
Yeah, my pulled pork's got red pepper flakes in it. It does fine. Like salt and pepper.
I'm gonna can tomorrow, man. I ain't bullshitting you. I'm gonna be canning tomorrow. I'm gonna video it. I'm gonna throw it out there too.
There you go.
I'm like, all y'all gonna be in the thumbnail or something like they taught me how to can and it's gone crazy.
Hey, that's what Virginia Roots did after her first canning. She spent the whole next week canning everything inside.
On our second show, like the first 15 minutes, her showing us everything she canned all week, and I was like, holy shit! Just like
I did the same exact thing, and then it's like last week. when we canned last week, it took me almost 5 days to recover
Oh.
because I had to stand the whole time. And
So
so
now you got
what I did was I went to the grocery store and I bought meats because I never buy any groceries. My husband does. So it was my first experience seeing how high the meat prices were. But I found a great big slab of ribeye, where you can cut them to whatever thickness you want. And my husband cut one that's like a Flintstone Brontosaurus piece. But the rest of them, because the knife was so dull, they look like they've been through a meat grinder. And this is like really nice ribeye. So that's what I cut up to make the Philly cheesesteak stuff. And then we've got some that came out semi-decent. So it was still, it was $143 for the whole thing. But we probably, it was definitely a deal. Compared to what you're getting for 3 ribeyes, they're charging like $38 for 3 little ribeyes.
Yeah.
And so that wasn't too bad. But
I just thought it was a great idea.
Meals. I'm looking for things that, tribe. When I can things, I'm like Ghost. I just want something that I can take out of the jar. And like I did the prime rib with some peppers and onions, and I canned those. And I just use like garlic, onion, just regular seasonings in them. And so they just got to be dumped out, heated up in the microwave, put on a bun, and I've got packets of the Velveeta cheese.
Oh,
and
man.
you can make yourself a Philly cheesesteak sandwich, or you can just have a sandwich. Beef, onion, peppers, or with the juices, you can have an au jus. So there's like 3 different kinds of sandwiches you can get out of just that one. I've had shepherd's pie, where I've layered the hamburger and the vegetables and then the potato on top. And you could just eat it right out of the jar.
That's awesome.
So, I like things like that. So, but I don't eat my, the stuff that I've canned. And it worked out good because when things started happening, I knew that I had that security. And I am a kid that grew up, where we would drive behind the grocery store in our town. They would leave like stacks of crates of gallons of milk for families that were low income. And but they would leave like milk and all that other stuff.
Right.
Sometimes meats, So that's the way I was raised. We had a Salvation Army box in the center of our town. We climbed inside that box. We got all our school supplies there, our clothing, our winter coats, everything out of there. So when I say I go dumpster diving, I literally go dumpster diving. And I was so pissed. I pulled out 60 pounds of frozen chicken thighs. They were 10-pound bags, and there was 6 of them in there. So it was 60 pounds, and they were frozen solid. I guess they couldn't fit them in their freezer or something, so they just threw them in the dumpster. Well, I grabbed them out. I brought 1 bag home, and then I donated the rest to the church. And I told them where it came from, and they were like, "We're desperate for food. Thank you so much." And our Dollar General, whenever their freezers break down, they'll call me, and I go down there with a pickup truck, and we pull everything out of the dumpster. Sometimes they'll lay it next to the dumpster so it doesn't go in. And we'll take the truckload up there to the church. They got 4 freezers. And they said that at the height of the sickness, they said that in this little small town that I live in, and I'm up in Egypt, they did 160 boxes for families of 4. And they said it was all meats and frozen meals. Plus, and they said the stores only donate fruits and vegetables and oranges and, things like that. And they said, and they're really not in the best of shape. I saw another store where they had thrown away great big things of prime rib and filet mignon. And I'm like, are you people out of your freaking minds? I said, can I get in there? And there was 4 of them. They were filet mignons, and they were laying on the bottom of the dumpster, still in the package, and you could see the cold rising off of them.
Wow.
Okay. And they said, oh, you can't go in the dumpster. This is before I knew the laws. And the law says you can go into them. And I said, look, they said, you'll get sick if you eat that. And I said, I have 5 dogs. I'll do something with it. My dogs will love it. I didn't want them to know that I was going to eat it, And they told me, well, they had a covenant house, which helps out. It helps out a lot of the drug addicts in towns and people that are just really struggling financially. And they count on food donations. And they said, oh, well, we already donate to the Covenant House. Now, Covenant House's parking lot was actually connected to this grocery store. And I said, I'm going to tell you something right now. I'm going to walk over there and I'm going to ask them how much meat you have donated to them. Because if I find out you have not donated meat to them, I'm turning you into the cops. And I said, and I'm also going to call the IRS on you because you're writing all this off. These things had prices of $183 on them.
Whoo!
And
what was your idea?
So I went over there. I went over and asked Covenant House, and they said all they give us is fruits and vegetables. They don't give us any meat. I said, good to know. Store was closed within a month.
Damn.
What was your idea, Trav?
Well, shut your asses down for lying. You're writing this shit off and throwing it in the dumpster. But I actually did do a video where I went around to like Aldi's and stuff to show the waste, the food waste. And I found a great big huge box that had, I think it had like probably 50 pounds of strawberries. And they were still in their quart containers. And it's just because the top strawberry had a little bit of fuzz on them. You bring them home, you wash them with some vinegar water and rinse them off and let them air dry. And then either slice them and freeze them or go ahead and can them. And there's just so much food waste out there. But as far as like growing things, if there's an onion that's a little squishy, I'll cut the bottom off of it, plant it, and I'll grow me some spring onions, Same thing with peppers. So, I mean, there's a lot of ways to prep that, people don't think about it. But they are starting to buckle down a little bit, and they're saying they found a little loophole. And the loophole is that if the grocery store pays for their dumpster, then it is their property, and they can tell you to get off, and they can have you arrested. Because I pull up the laws, and I said, oh, no, it's legal in all 50 states here. And it's not private property, it's public property. Because I had the guy from Aldi chase me, and he actually said that I was stealing his trash. And I'm standing there talking to a cop, and he's screaming, she's stealing from me. She's stealing from me. She's stealing my trash. Well, this is about the time the dump truck pulls up, the garbage truck, right? So I start screaming, citizens arrest, citizens arrest. What the hell are you doing? I said to the manager, I said, aren't you going to stop him? And he goes, what are you talking about, lady? And I said, well, he's stealing your trash. He's taking the whole damn dumpster. I was just grabbing a bag of oranges. And the cop's like, he's like, look, just.
So, what was your idea, Trav? You said something. You said you had
about when you can stuff up, it would make great Christmas gifts.
Oh yeah,
yes.
Trust me, I did the last batch of chow chow I made. I probably made 3 cases of it, 3 pint size.
You see Neecy's face when you said chow chow?
Hang on, let me hang on.
You made chow chow. I didn't send me any.
That was look. When Bush did away with that Panamanian treaty thing with the canal, I didn't know we could still be swapping shit. I didn't want to try to break no international law. I ain't trying to break no international law, But I mean,
that's funny.
Some ghost prepper chow by the year.
My husband.
I am going to make some. As soon as I can find the green tomatoes, I'm gonna go looking tomorrow to find some green tomatoes. I'm gonna make a big ass batch, and I'm gonna send you a big jar, not a little jar. I'm gonna send you a big jar, or we can just do it together here on the canning stream. But every time I do chow chow, it's different.
And we can make something though.
Yeah, I would try. Yeah.
It's easy. It's easy, and you can put whatever you want to put in it. You can put in it. I put all kinds of stuff in it, but I made like probably 3 or 4 cases, and my sister-in-law eats it like cereal. I mean, I can't like half a teaspoon on my meal, and that's plenty. It's lit up. It's edible, but it's warm. She puts it on hot dogs as relish. I mean, she does. She has no heat palate. I mean, she eats it like candy. So she literally.
I put it on spaghetti.
Oh yeah, I put it on like pinto beans, and they go on my beans and rice. It goes good in chili and stuff. You can put it on anything, but it's good. It's hot, but it's good. Hang on, I got a jar right here.
Your hair does look good.
My husband gets that once a year when we go to the powwow. There's one particular person that sells it, and that's the only person he'll buy it from. And he'll stretch that the entire year.
Y'all are so cute. I swear.
But this is it right here. Hang on, I got a big screen. This is the last jar I have.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, that looks good.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
What
it's
kind,
so lit.
what kind of peppers you got in there?
It looks like relish.
This has cayenne peppers, habanero peppers. Let's see. It's got onion, cayenne, habanero.
Oh, that's some spicy stuff.
Yeah.
What are those? What are those long ones? So, not sriracha, but what?
Serrano?
Oh,
I think it's the one. It's the hotness. The one in between. It's in between cayenne and habanero, jalapeno.
jalapeno.
So it's got jalapenos, habaneros, cayenne,
Yeah.
green peppers, onions,
Yeah.
green tomatoes, cabbage, cayenne. Oh, it's got all kinds of hot shit. What's in it? Hot shit.
I haven't had palmetto chow chow in 20 years. That's how long it's been.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to make a big batch because this stuff is good.
First time I ever tried it was in South Carolina. I call it palmetto chow chow. That's the last time I've ever eaten it. It was like 20 years ago. So good.
Now, does it have a sweet taste to it? I've never heard of it. I heard
I've made sweet. Like when I made that batch, I made a batch of sweet and I made a batch of hot. But the sweet's really good. Everything's the same. You just don't put the hot stuff in it. I mean, it's really good. It makes really good like hot dog relish and stuff. The kids love it, but everybody wants the hot. I did like sweet, medium, and hot, but everybody wanted the hot, so I just started with hot.
Dusty, can I ask you a question? What is that chart behind you?
That's Prepperty.
Prepperty.
Oh, that's Prepperty?
Yep.
Well, yeah.
It's a game show for preppers. If you
Yeah, I told you I would join you. I would join and play, but I thought it was maybe your tribe and how many people are going to be leaving, how many are staying.
I was one of the first winners on Prepperty. And then I was the worst ass kicking taking ever on Prepperty because of Milkmaid.
No, you weren't. I was the one that got their ass kicked. I won and got my ass kicked. How bad is that?
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
I won and got my ass whipped. Thank you,
Well, he's
Annie.
really serious about this. He's got the whole blue board back there and everything.
Oh, yeah.
just like Jeopardy.
What
All right, boys and girls,
Game show
we are
on
at.
TV to get to interact.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
badass.
it's fun. It's fun. Well, we are at 3.5 hours, and I need to get something to eat. So I think we're gonna call this one. And,
All right.
I'm sure somebody else is live to do, chatting and talking and stuff like that. Unless it's gonna break somebody's heart if I shut this screen down. I mean,
I gotta go to bed. It's like 4 hours past my bedtime.
I appreciate y'all, man. I really, really, really do. Milkmaid, you
Proud
saved
of
my
you.
life this morning. Ghost, everybody on the panel, thank y'all so much, man. This has been awesome. And I'm not bullshit. Like,
Thank
this
you,
is
bro.
awesome.
Now you're mad because you didn't start up doing it with us 4 months ago when we started.
I know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, come
I'm
on.
glad I was watching, though. I'm glad I was watching because a lot of stuff stuck in my head. It built me up to get to this point. You know what I mean?
And now you see how easy it is. Now you're like, man, I gotta go can some more shit right now, right now, right now, right now.
Right.
Where do you start getting into the meat?
Amazing things. This is amazing what y'all are doing. Like, you don't know until you do it. Like, when you're watching, you don't get the full Like it's because of this show why I'm canning now. Like I don't know if I would have ever done it if I wouldn't have had this show to do it. You know what I mean?
Now tell Native and Devout to stop being a pussy and come on.
It's like watching it versus doing it are two different. It's like you can watch a video of somebody shooting a gun.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can watch a video of somebody getting down in prone position with a Barrett 50 cal and pulling the trigger, and you go, I can do that, until you get down there and do it. And then you realize what a Barrett 50 cal can do. Then you're like, whoa, that's a whole different video. You know what I mean? Yeah, you're done. So it's pretty
Since
cool.
we're on the subject of that, I got a question. And I want to be real careful how I word it. What is the distance a 38 travels?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Are you pulling it up and down? I mean,
because we went to the place, and I tried it at different, distances.
It's on how
I
close
couldn't tell if I was hitting that damn thing or not until I pulled it up, and I was surprised how many times I missed. Because with a long range, I'm freaking Oakley, and I couldn't believe I couldn't hit that damn target, and I didn't know if it was. I didn't know if it's
38. It's a 38. It's not a long range weapon. You can throw a rock. That's about how good a 38 is. I mean, you can literally throw a rock.
Well, it's better than the 22 I had.
Actually, a 22 is more accurate than a 38, and it'll probably travel farther.
No, this one's from Canada, and it's got like 15 different safety devices on it. So by the time you unhook everything, you're pretty well screwed anyway. I'm more of a.
I've always been told 38s are just belly busters. You're right up against somebody.
Yeah, I was told it was a belly buster, but no, I rely on this. This is my best friend. Goes everywhere with me, even in the bathroom.
All right, well, boys and girls, I believe I am going to shut her down and go get something.
Simmer down now.
See if somebody else is live and doing an after party or whatever.
Yeah, let's go see your other personality while you're on one of the other channels.
Thanks everybody in the chat for hanging out.
All of you. I got my eye on all of you.
Thanks,
everybody. I love you guys.
Everybody in the chat, thanks for hanging out. Tribe, you guys want to say anything to the chat?
Just want to say thank you. Appreciate y'all having our back. Thank you so much.
Always got your back. Always got your back.
You want to say goodbye? Dusty?
Yeah, hey, I appreciate you guys, everything you do, man. This channel really does help out a lot of people. You got me over my hump. You got Tribe over his hump.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it, man. We're just having fun, just doing the damn thing.
My cherry. Ghost pop my cherry tonight.
Hey.
We'll see you all over on property.
All right, y'all. We're out of here. Y'all have a good night. Thanks for hanging out with us, and we'll see you next week.
All right, good night. I'll be ready next week.